Good morning, Vietnam. Thank you. First of all, Louise, for turning up. I appreciate that greatly. And it obviously gives me an opportunity to kind of chop up some music stuff with you. Mm-hmm. I know that you're one of our leading experts in the field.
I try.
So I'm going to throw some questions at you, and if it is, you can basically. All right, cool. Let me just do a little roll call. Let's see who's in the building, in the stew. We got Energy, Sarah, Davina, Nams, Adele, TT, Amy Snow Globe, Bex, Priz, Mr. Ashlows, Pal Wal, Ruby Tuesday, T, Natty, DCF Mux, Abimi, Dr. Amani, The Man from Uncle Backwards, Johannes Williams, Star Crew, Mike Brent. Thank you very much, Davina. You are a star. People have been telling me I need to get a PA, so maybe I should jump in your email and ask you if it is that you need a job. Or that you would like a job instead, I should say. God damn it. All right, that should work now. Check your mic, please, Lauren. Let's see. And again? Hello. All right, hold up. Try again.
Hello.
All right, wonderful.
There we go.
That should be working. You're not comfortable, are you?
I'm all right like this.
Right, push it back.
Sit back?
No, yeah, and pull it to you.
Okay, cool. That's how you know I'm a novice, innit?
That's the one. All right, cool. So, good morning, everybody. Mileage UK, good morning. Is Bambino, good morning. Crowd Crew, Lynn M32, and how's everybody? Cool. First time I'm watching this show, pick up Lauren and my brother Marks.
It's that. Oh yeah.
Yep. Miles, Marks is on holiday right now. He's absconding from duty. But anyway, shout out you. We need to have you on the show. We need to pull up. Talk about current affairs and that. Anyway, so whilst it is that we wait for Emmanuel to join us, I'll ask you a couple of questions, right? Now, first of all, I've said that you are one of our leading experts in the music space. Now, I know that because obviously you've come here before.
Yes.
But I would like you to just briefly remind those people who you are, what you do, briefly, please, because I want to get into my questions.
Okay, cool. All right. So, as you said, I'm Lauren Louise. I'm the managing director of the nonprofit I Love Live. Thank you very much. Which is a artist development and live music platform for emerging artists, mainly from the Black music community, and people that are inspired by Black music as well. So we support other ethnic minorities, but mainly Black artists. And I started in music 10 years ago. I started at the Sunday show. So if anyone remembers that back in the day, place that Mo Gilligan came up, a lot of the rappers came up. That's how I kind of cut my teeth, as they say. And then I went from that, went into working in different labels, internships, then actually started as an intern at I Love Live, worked my way up, then left, went to do a master's in music business management, so doing the legal side of music and everything as well. And then went into doing artist management for a bit, and then fast forward to be a managing director. But music's always just been a part of my life, always grown up around just all the Jamaican music in my house, soul music, R&B. So hence why I'm always on R&B and slow jams, because it's in me. And my culture is a big part of inspiring me in my job as well. Because being a part of that Win Russia legacy, as they say.
Come on.
So yeah.
All right. So your grandfather.
My grandparents are Jamaican,
yeah,
but we're also got Irish and Scottish in our family as well.
Right. Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. All right. So I Love Live is very much grassroots, right? So you've seen quite a few generations of budding musicians either go through there and make it, or go through there and not, right? How important is your company in the pipeline of whether they're going to basically make it or not?
I think our job, obviously I'm naturally biased, but I think the bit that I think is really important is that it started as a live music space, and I feel like the craft of live music isn't really focused on like it used to be as much, especially with the rise of social media over the last decade. Even in the job, like I've been in and out of I Love Live for the last 10 years now. And even when I first started, funny enough, on Friday I was going through our archives and I was looking at our Instagram posts and I'm like, we would never post like that now. Like just a random snapshot of the stage, no lighting. It's like the way you can see things have evolved, and that's definitely been seen in artists as well. So like they solely focus a lot on doing live, and they will try to cut past doing the emerging platforms and try to go straight into doing their own headline show, which is, for people that don't know the terminology, it's like basically just doing your concert single-handedly with maybe one opening act. But I'm like, you need to go practice before you get that and ask people for their money to perform for that. So I think that's why I am really passionate about what I do, because I'm like, it's important. It's a way to build audiences and meet other artists as well, because a lot of people now are bedroom artists as well, because of, you know, you've got access to tools at home, so you don't necessarily always have to go to a studio, so you're building a community for yourself as well.
Sorry, I don't know why this boy is calling me. He knows full well. Hold up.
Phone call while you're on live is crazy.
This is mad. Good morning.
Yo. Good morning.
Yeah,
how's it going?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm actually live right now. How is it going for you?
Oh, serious?
Did you say, oh, serious?
Yeah.
my friend. You know what we do at this time.
Yo, sorry, my bad, man.
Well, you're on air now, young man.
Oh, nah, you're joking. Seriously. All right, listen, I'll call you back, innit?
Thank you very much.
All right, in a bit.
Later. This is crazy. Anywho, sorry about that.
That's all good.
All right, so you said that they, as in the budding artists, just want to go right straight to headlining, right? You must have heard many stories about those that didn't make it.
I've met them as well.
All right, I want to hear one of those particular stories, because I, in my mind, people who want to be an aspiring actor, they have a wholesale side hustle, right? Whether they waitress, whether they go in retail, this, that, next, blah, 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 blah. Is that the same story for artists?
Yeah, all the time.
All right. So I need to hear a couple of harrowing stories of these budding artists that haven't made it yet, but you've seen wavy, clean through, but yet they're still languishing.
I think there's two parts to it.
Yeah.
So there's a saying that I say all the time. So especially, so the company, because it's split into two halves, there's the events and then there's an artist development platform.
Yeah.
The artist development platform is an open call every 6 months. So people apply. So I have to literally look at applications and see like what they do. We ask them as well, like, what do you do for a job? And a lot of them will say things like, I'm a barista, or they do that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And then I'll be like, but they're so talented. What's the different? Why? What's the thing that's holding this back?
Yeah.
So when we narrow it down, when we get to our top 10, we interview them. Like we actually come and meet us. So we bring our whole team. So for context, I Love Live is a very small company. It's like me day to day. I have a colleague called Claudia, who's like literally in my right hand. We got Claudia, because honestly, I don't know if I could do it without her. And then there's a senior management team. So the original managing director and the CEO, but they only literally support me like over maybe 1 day working week. So a lot of that I have to sit down and do a lot of the legwork. So by the time we sit in that room, we need to know these people are serious. And when we start talking to them, that's when it starts coming to light. Why the difference between white devils and cousin cut through and others. So a lot of the things I'll pick up in those conversations is like the mindset. I always say with artists is half talent, half like mindset, being in the right place of mind. So sometimes they just don't work hard enough. Like they're like, yeah, by next year I want to have done this. And they're like, what's your release plan then? Yeah, like I'm gonna, like I've got a song coming, like, and like it's all that like business.
All right, the language you're using, is it that they're young black boys, young black girls?
Oh, both, and sometimes not black as well.
All right, cool. And okay, cool. Just youth lingo. All right, cool.
Yeah, and then I can hear the vagueness in the conversation, so I realize there isn't a plan in action.
Yes,
and then that's when I always say there's a difference between artists and singers, or artist and rapper. They're two, in my head, that's two different things.
All right, just tell me the difference.
I would say artists are people that like there's a whole, they have like a package
Beautiful.
in mind.
Yeah.
Like, I'm an artist.
Yeah.
This is what I want to look like. This is how I want to carry myself. This is the plan of action I have. These are my targets. How I'm going to get to those targets. Sometimes they just don't have the people to help them. So they're like in a position where they're like, what do I do next? Or financially, they can't do it for numerous life reasons. Where some people, they literally just make the music. And some people are just happy to do that and just do that. And then I'm like, if that's what you're happy with, then obviously art is art. Create your art, release your art. But then sometimes they want to be artists and are doing just the art part and not doing anything else. And I'm like, if people forget, music is called the music business.
Okay. And it's very important for them when they reach your stage, when it is that you're assessing this, that, next, for them to at least have an idea as to how they want to brand themselves.
Yes. Okay. Like, even if it's vague, like as in terms of, you're not sure, they're like, oh, these are the options, but I'm not sure what's the next step. But at least there's an actual, I've had a thought about it. Sometimes they don't come with anything. Yeah. And that's really tough because I'm like, I want you to win, but like you don't even know what you want. Yeah. And if I tell you, it's not the same because then I'm implementing what I think about you as a person when it should be coming from you because it's your art, it's your story.
Okay, that's the first one. The second one?
As in, which bit?
I think you did.
I said artists and singers. Yeah. So the singers, I would say, is like people that literally like, they could be amazing vocalists and they go and do open mics and they sing with family, friends, but they don't have that plan. Or the music, like sometimes it's like even down to like songwriting. It might not be strong enough. It might not be relaying their story enough. There's that little weakness there, and that's what stops them from taking that next step to becoming an actual viable career.
All right, cool. And your organization basically is able to place them in whichever box you feel as though they're missing in. For example, they come to the fore and they've got all of the ideas as to what how they need to be branded and whatnot, but just slightly kind of lacking the singing aspect of it.
Or like sometimes it's not even, more time when we step in, it's not even the talent part. Like they usually have that part down.
Yeah, it's just
it's the other elements around it. So for example, I'm trying to think of an artist that we've worked with or like maybe even spoken to, like they sometimes, I'll be like, they'll say, I've got 4 songs and they're going to read them like back to back every week. Yeah. And then we're like, but what would you do after that? Yeah. And then they're kind of like, oh. Yeah. And they kind of see them kind of sit back. Yeah. Like, oh, I didn't really think that far ahead. Yeah. And I'm like, and then we might just say a simple suggestion as simple as like, maybe do it every 4 weeks. Yeah. And they're like, you see the light bulb switch on. Yeah. Because then you've created 4 months rather than a month's worth of content to give you time to work on your craft and time to make creative ideas of how you're going to promote that music.
It sounds like you kind of wear many hats given that it's a small organization. So you kind of handle also the perceived social media strategy and then you ask for them to basically deploy it. Right? Cool. Is there a cutoff age regarding who you want to work with or who you are willing to work with?
It's funny you asked that question, is that every time we do an open call, which is coming up very shortly actually, so we're planning an open call right now to open very soon. So this is the exclusive because it's not in public domain actually. So if anyone wants 5K for 12 months, for a 12-month program, it's coming, guys. It's coming. Very, very soon. So like, how can I pull it? Like, I'm trying to think of the words. I've lost my words.
If I'm 45, I'm insanely talented. I just came in a bit late.
That's the bit that's tough. Like we've had this conversation when we do it. We're like, every time we do the form, we'll put application format. And we're like, shall we put an age on it? And also we've had this conversation with our sponsors. So we have a sponsor as well. Because we're non-profit, it helps with the finances and helps us give the money to the artists. Are
you allowed to basically disclose?
No, it's public. It's so it's Stellar Songs Publishing, which is a really lovely partnership. Yeah. And because they don't just, it's not financial support, they also help with the program itself. Okay. So narrowing down those applications and their expertise. So we work with a lovely man, Derek, and a lovely lady called Ella in their team. But the company was founded actually by 2 black music execs that have done amazing stuff called Tim and Danny. So they were actually artist producers back in the day. Yes. And now they're like amazing execs, like not just in the UK, but like globally. Yes. They're behind a lot of the producers that have done amazing stuff. So Stargate, if anyone knows Stargate, they've done Beyonce, Lady Gaga, you name it, across the charts. Yeah. Amazing material. Like they're responsible for them. So they've signed people like Sam Smith, Emily Sandé, those are producers that are based out UK and LA. And so that support as well helps a lot. Yeah. And when we spoke to them about it, they do normally look towards the youth side. I think the youth side of things, and we do too. Just because you can see obviously longevity. Where if someone's older, it is really tough. Like, and I hate it because it sounds so ageist, but we also have to consider not even us, but what the wider music business community will think too. So it's like, there's like, we're like this all the time. We're like, we don't know, because sometimes we don't want to do it too young either. So it's the other end of the spectrum too.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Question, just back on the founders.
Founders of I Love Live, or Stellar Songs.
Was I Love Live running before you got that particular sponsor on board?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
How were you getting funded then?
So the way I Love Live funded is by Arts Council England.
Okay.
And if anyone knows about Arts Council, it's basically like a government body, but they're like non-political arm of the government.
Yeah.
And it's basically to invest in arts within the UK. So investing in arts and creativity, which obviously helps the economy and the growth of, British culture globally and all that stuff. And they support all kinds of stuff. So it can be like theatre. You see the logo. If you're around, you see it on like theatre productions. If you're on the tube or something, you'll see that it's because they will invest in those things. So it works in two ways. One side is project-based, so they will do funds for particular projects and you get that funding. And then if you're successful and you keep doing those projects and you're good at your role and you're good at what you're delivering for them, you can apply to be a national portfolio organisation. So that means long-term funding, like every 3 years. Yeah. So we're a national portfolio organisation.
All right, so you're still getting funding from Arts Council?
Yes, that's our foundation.
Okay, and then the other
is to like supplement extra work. So originally it started just them supporting the events, but as the company evolved, because the artist development it wasn't planned. Yes. So basically, the lady who was running it before, a lady called Rachel, she discovered an artist at the open mic at one of the events. Yeah. A lady called Izzy Bazoo.
Izzy Busy?
Izzy Bazoo.
Come on. I like it.
And she's a pop artist. And she did the open mic and they were like, wow, who's this girl? And then, long story short, they found her, they started helping her, they helped her release an EP. She ended up getting signed to Sony Music. She started touring, she was supporting big acts. I think she supported Sam Smith early in her career. And then literally, fast forward, she was supporting Coldplay in the arenas in America. Yeah. So that shows the growth and it shows that the knowledge that Rachel had and the team also in the company at the time that helped that development. So that was like the case study to say to Arts Council, look, we need this extra funding. Well, not only are we doing these events, but we can do this for artists as well.
All right, cool. The most recent success story. Have you got a name?
I'd say it's like there's little wins. I feel like because we work so early in it, sometimes with us, it won't feel so like mad. But one comes to mind like personal for me. There was a rapper on the program and he was very early and into his journey. And then he got asked to support Knox.
Okay.
And he opened for him at Coco.
Beautiful.
And I literally walked in and he was on the stage and his manager and I saw each other and we both like screamed and we like jumped and we hugged each other like, we've done it. And everyone was looking at us thinking, why are they so excited? What's the matter with these lot? But for us, it was like the fact that we'd see him on the stage of Coco. And anyone that does know Coco, it's a legendary music venue. It fits a good many thousand people. So it's not a small stage. So it's like those are the little moments that you get and you're like, oh, wow, we've really done something here. You've really helped somebody change their life. And that's really nice and rewarding.
How old was he?
He's like a little bit younger than me, so maybe late 20s.
Okay. So and he's obviously,
he's still going. He's literally just finished a UK tour himself, literally last week. And a friend of mine is tour managing it. So it's still like around me. I still hear the wins, even when we offboard them, because it's only 12 months. I still get to kind of hear the wins that they're still achieving like years after, which is really nice.
Beautiful. All right. I Love Live is a very special and niche organization as to how it serves the music community. Are there any other organizations like yours?
I would say there's one called, it used to be called Urban, but it's called United Development now. United Development does very similar work to us as well. They have a building in East London, but they do educational stuff as well. So it's not just live events. So they do educational. They also do artist development. But a lot of the artist developments are all formatted in certain ways. So I think their one is more like grouped. So they artists come together, where our one is literally like we work individually with those artists, like one-on-one. They do meet from time to time, but it's usually tailored around the artist. Their one, I think, is they provide education. Like they might meet, they might do a particular course of sorts to learn about knowledge and stuff. So they do similar stuff like that. And then there's the people that do kind of some of what we do, not all of it. So Mobo do Mobo Unsung, which is an artist development platform. And 2 of the Mobo Unsung roster that they announced at the Mobos actually are previous I Love Live artist development artists. So we worked with them already.
Beautiful. And it's not a competition thing because...
No, not really. Okay. Because...
do you have a partner at all?
Sometimes. Well, back in the day, when I first worked at I Love Live, which was 2015, which is crazy, one of the first things I worked on was we did a collaboration with Mobo to do Mobo Unsung. They did a tour. So we went around to lots of different UK cities and they brought their whole Mobo Unsung like cohort of sorts around the country. And because we have the events infrastructure, it made sense. And Kanye King and Rachel, who was at the company, I've known each other for many years, so the synergy just made sense.
Okay. This is very grassroots, right? Mm-hmm. Have you had any aspirations to be further up the pipeline of music
as in as for the organization?
No, you
or me?
Yeah,
I've done it in the merge in the I've worked at 2 record labels, and that was me being able to feel what the impact is of like global artists. So like I worked on Naira Marley, for example, who is in Nigeria. Obviously, anyone knows he's a star.
These are early days, though, no?
Like no, but like in Nigeria, like he can't walk the street. Oh, me.
Yeah.
This was like
we're focusing on you today.
Oh,
yeah.
First. No, that was like 2019.
Okay.
So it was a good few years ago.
Okay.
And I was a junior marketing manager, so I was lower down the food chain.
Because I want to know what keeps you going, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously you consume a lot of music. You hear a lot of inner workings and this, that, and the next. And obviously the position that you're in right now, I'm sure it's sought after by many other people in your field and whatnot. And obviously you are a Swiss Army knife in your organization.
Yeah,
right? They can't be without you. Would you prefer to take I Love Live further than just grassroots, or expand so that it doesn't just focus on grassroots, but the entire journey of grass to...
I think so, yeah. I think in a different way, though. Like, so right now, I've got some plans definitely up my sleeve that I can't wait to actually share with people. And when they come to light, I think people will be when? I'm literally want to do...
When they come to
when they come, it's true, speak it into existence. It's true. It's true. And there are relationships that I've built myself just by friendships, rapport, also with me. As much as I work hard, I like to step out from time to time. I like a little party.
I've seen the pictures, I've seen the videos. That's good.
But sophisticated, sophisticated partying, not just out here doing.
Why is that important?
As in, so not moving mad.
Having that balance.
I think the release, because like you said, I wear so many hats. Like my job consumes my mind. There's times where like it'll be like 11 p.m. and I'll be like, oh my days, there's an idea that comes to my brain, and I'll voice note Claudia and the team, and I'll be like, do not reply to me. I am mad. I don't expect you to be like me, but here's the idea, so we can implement this on Monday or something. So it's constant. So for me, it's weird because it's still music, but like when I go out, it's not even for like the drinking. Some people are like, oh, I'm going to go do 20 shots. It's not even that. It's actually just the escapism of being in the music without having to think about it in the work sense. Like I love like the art of DJing, like a mix and stuff like that. Like that is my passion.
Oh, serious?
Yeah, like I love seeing that stuff.
Decks, yeah?
Like I would love to do that.
Come on.
I just haven't put time to actually learn it. But like I will be in the rave and I'll be by the deck. I'm not watching. I'm literally like, oh my gosh, how did he think of putting this song with that song? Like I'm doing that. So yeah, that's why I kind of like that part of it. In terms of and just enjoying and actually enjoying the music and taking away having to think, oh, how am I going to make this be successful, or where we're going to get extra funding to help these artists or expand this idea. Like just for that moment, you just don't have to think about anything.
All right, so I'm certain that there are dark parts of the industry, right? And I'm sure that you've dipped your toe or your ears into certain rooms and environments where if you had an opportunity to take I Love Live further, you would make sure that those particular practices and how it is that you'll look after like acts and whatnot isn't like replicated. What's one thing that you would like to change or you would like changed within the industry that right now is very, very corrosive for acts?
I'd say there's this like unspoken gatekeeping that happens a lot. And it's because life is competitive anyway. Like I think we're just always feeling like that. But especially music, because it just feels like there's only so many seats at the table. I think there's that impression. So even just getting just like having a chat, they're like, they don't want to share. You can feel the resistance, maybe sharing information because it's a dog eat dog world. And like, even for example, like, so people that are not in the music industry, music, especially like the economic side of it at the moment, like last year, loads of major labels made loads of people redundant, like big ones, like Universal, like loads of people lost their jobs. So it's like a job where you're kind of always on edge. So that part, I kind of give people a bit of grace because I know that's how you feel, especially if you work in particular or some particular roles. They will literally be like, you didn't do your job, bye. Like, especially like if you're A&R, if you're not signing people, you're not bringing them in, you're not bringing them money out. It's as simple as that.
It's as cutthroat as that?
Yeah, like because they're not bringing the money.
Lose their job off the back of not performing?
Yeah.
Should it be loosened or should that competition actually be there? Because that industry needs competition in order to thrive, right?
I think it's hard because I can see why it happens. Obviously, it doesn't help people's mindset, and I think obviously that must be. Because I remember like when I came into music, I was like, I want to be an A&R, and then I learned what the A&R role looks like, and I went, no, I don't want to do that.
Talk to me, why?
Because I'm like, want to be, if you're going to work every day thinking, oh my God, if I don't sign this record, I don't have no job. Like the stability part of it. But it's one of those roles, if you hit it, you always have a job. Yeah. You always have a job. Like all the labels, you'll get taken from another label and go over there and do that until you might become an A&R director or manager, but you're not even scouting. Yeah. You're just overseeing the roster and making sure everybody's doing what they need to be doing.
You didn't feel confident enough that you can basically like tread the water?
I think it's a personality thing though. I'm an actually introvert, and A&Rs, like they
need to be sharks.
Yeah, they're gonna be like they're gonna be like ringing off people's phone, being in the studio all night. Yeah. Like they're gonna make sure they're gonna do that, and I respect it because it's a commitment. It's a job that you have to be deep in, and you have to know everyone that's moving and shaking. So your artist has to be working with the best producers at that moment. Make sure they're with the best writers, making sure that they're in the right places, the right time, all the time. And I was like, I don't know. I was like, because I've had to grow my confidence as
there we go. Because you're talking about old you, young you.
Old me when I first started when I was like 19. That Lauren, boy, it's a different Lauren completely.
So like, right now you can cut it as an era because you're essentially doing quite a few different roles right now.
I'd say maybe not the scouting bit because that takes. I think it's a young people's job because you got to be out all the time at gigs, mingling with people. And I definitely like sometimes I go in rooms now and I'm like, I think I've outgrown this now. Like certain emerging artist rooms, I will send the team or send the interns and then bring back to me the information because that helps them grow and they should build their network. Yeah. I don't feel like I'm taking up room in a room that I don't need to actually be in. Yeah. So yeah, maybe this Lauren, but yeah, maybe it's a bit too late.
Okay. All right. So the one thing that you would change is. Did you answer that question?
The gatekeeping side. I'd say we need to just be a little bit more open. Especially, I'd say, I think it's an industry-wide thing, but especially in the black music space, because obviously the community is tiny. Once you work in the music business, and especially people that are from that community, you know everybody. Like, even if you don't know them to talk to, you'll be like, that's that person. You know their name, you know what they do. It's an easy thing. That happened to me on Saturday. So like Saturday, I was at the Brits after party.
Come on.
And I was like, so funny story, I actually went on my own, which I was actually so nervous, but I'm in a few group chats with like women in music and things like that. And I actually met a girl there who's also a radio presenter and she's doing really good things. She introduced me to her friends, but funny enough, I actually met them before at R&B and slow jams. So the world is so small. And then when I went in, I saw like so many people I know because it's just one of those places. And then I was like, I wasn't actually alone in the end. Like I actually was with loads of people that I've got good rapport with. And yeah, that part was amazing, by the way. It was in Madame Two Swords. It was so random.
Okay.
So hosted by Manny Norte.
Come on.
So yeah, he does an amazing after party every year. So but it just shows you how small it is. And I think for me, I'm in a very unique position though, because a lot of those people know each other, because if you work in major labels, it's like working at a corporate company in a big building, how many floors, you go to the canteen, everyone sees each other, even if you don't work in the same department. Whereas in me, because I'm a non-profit, I'm kind of like, it's like, this is the music industry and I'm like over there, just doing me. So yeah, a lot, it takes me having to make personal connections for myself to build that up.
Do you prefer it that way though? You being just on the outskirts? I
kind of do. Like, it has its pros and cons. Like, the cons is like that situation where I have to go digging and be like, oh, there's the after party. Who's going? I have to go make maybe 4 or 5 more calls than the other person that's going to go to the office and go, oh, you're not going on Tuesday, or you going on Saturday? And they're going, yeah, I'm going, and it's done. So you're a little bit on the circumference of things, but I don't have that pressure of like major labels, that big financial commitment where they're trying to make sure they're breaking artists. If you invested in an artist, it's not working well, someone's, meeting's going to happen, pressure is on your shoulders. Yeah. And that's what I had when I worked in the majors. I think maybe now I'd be more resilient, but the time I was in the majors as well, like life was lifing for me. So the timing was awful. It was COVID. So I was at home in lockdown on my own. They sent me a laptop and said, crack on. Yeah. The label I worked for was brand new, so they had a lot of pressure on their shoulders. Yeah. They didn't, like, the execs, the guys that were running it, they were like, had to figure out what they were doing. They'd never run a label themselves before. The artists were new and we're breaking artists. We can't even shoot videos because you can't go outside. We had to think of marketing ideas you can do in your house. It was pressure. So I didn't really get to enjoy it in the way that maybe somebody else gets to do on a day-to-day normally. Beautiful.
Do you place much stock on award ceremonies?
Yes and no.
Talk to me.
I'll say, so I'm actually on the Mobile Voting Academy. I get to vote for the long list, and then it gets narrowed down.
What is the long list?
So the way that normally these ceremonies work.
Thank you very much. Mama, you're an insider. I need.
Oh yeah, it's true. Let me not use all the terminology. Mm-hmm. So the long list is normally, so this will be like, they will gather, for example, let me pick a category, like, okay, best R&B, for example, and they will look at everyone that year that's maybe done really good releases or in campaign mode. It's mainly people that actually in campaign mode as well. And so, for example, like this year, I saw people like Cleo Soul made a lot of those lists. She's incredible anyway. Like, I just adore Cleo Soul's music. You might see someone like Elmine, who's also an incredible artist.
She is.
And who else? Like Ray, people like that. So what they will do, they will look at that, pull it together, and then there'll be a voting academy of like a few, I think it must be in the hundreds, I'm sure, of people that will vote for that long list, and then narrowed it down to like a top 20. And then those usually book, or like a top 10. And that usually is the one that they will say like, oh, when you get to the actual award ceremony, and they will announce who's nominated for that award. So narrowing it down to that level. But normally just before that, it will get reviewed by like people that are like very senior in the music industry.
All right, cool. 2 questions. 1, what's the criteria for that particular last 10 selection, right? Mm-hmm. And who are you seeing left and right? You just said major people in the industry, like
who makes those decisions. Right? So I think people in those rooms are normally not only label people, but behind the scenes in music. If you're not aware of the industry, there's a lot of industry bodies. So there's things like the Music Managers Forum, but most people just call it the MMF.
Come on.
The MMF is like a committee. It's like a...
You need a chain for that, little pendant.
Yeah, it's like a little... It's like a little group of... it's like a membership thing. Yeah, so it's kind of like a... What's the word? Like like if you was to work in other industries, they have it, but it's like a music... Like a lobby group, that kind of thing. Yeah, so they do...
Go.
So they do... So they like... They'll talk about music law... the economics at the moment, what's going on, trends, like looking at the AI of things like that, to keep the government accountable as well. So they even, for example, I don't know if anyone saw last week, all the newspapers had the same cover on it. That wasn't the MMF, but like those are the kind of things that some of those type of groups will do. So they were like basically took all over the major newspapers in the UK and said like stop basically you need to protect us, the government, from AI laws to protect music copyright. Yeah. Because music copyright is like the foundation of like how you make your money. Your copyright is what's basically what brings you the income, your royalties, etc. So they will do like things like that to protect those things. But a lot of those people that are like run those organizations are in the rooms with when the award ceremonies are happening and things like that, alongside like people that are like heads of labels, heads of the major labels, on those tables to like narrow it down, and they would discuss like maybe whose sales were better, what they did, what wins they had. So for example, like Ray's had an amazing year. She had an amazing year last year as well. She just did the Oscars. Her album sold really well. It was independent as well. So it's like looking at all those factors, and I think that's what makes the decision.
All right, so you just started touching on the criteria, right? So these bodies that are responsible for narrowing down hundreds to 10, right? One, have they got their ears to the ground?
100%. They're in the inner workings as well. They all have insight to things that the average person won't have.
Okay. So essentially what you're saying, based on whatever criterion's used, the 10 that's there, they deserve to be there.
Yeah. I would say so. Obviously, there's music. The thing that's tough though, music is so subjective as an industry. So there's always going to be someone that's like, why did that person get nominated? Or why did that person win? And that kind of thing. So it's really hard. Because like, for example, like Bashi won that MOBO, and obviously the community
Let's not go there just yet. I want to, first of all, those pots of criteria, I need to know what they're considering when
what
they
are they looking at.
Yeah.
It also, I think, depends on the type of award show it is. So maybe what the MOBO would consider a success maybe would be different what the Brits do and the Grammys, for example.
Let's choose rap.
Rap?
Yeah, let's
rap
choose
and
that.
hip-hop?
Yeah.
I think it's hard because I'm in the committee but not on the final say. So I would love, that would be my aim though, to get that insight, to hear the debates. But I think from what I just know from doing this job a long time, it's going to be numbers. It's going to be like what they also are doing that we can't see yet.
Okay.
So they might discuss things like, oh, like, for example, when I speak to industry people, they might be like, oh, have you heard so-and-so was in a session with so-and-so? So like, they might have a big feature on the way that's going to change the trajectory of their career.
It's not important to basically share with the wider public, because if that feature hasn't yet dropped and yet they've collected an award, how is that perceived to be fair?
It's so hard though, because you might do that and then that song might never see the light of day. Because you say you do that, right? The people are like, oh yeah, they're doing... But a lot of the time I think it'll be stuff that's previous plus what's going to happen to you. It's a combination of things. But like if you use that song, I know there's some songs I've heard that are demos that people got big features on and they've never seen the light of day because of numerous reasons. Either the artist has changed their mind about that song, they've changed direction in their career. Sometimes someone sampled something and you can't clear the sample and they just like, it's a no. Like that happened the other day with that Rema song and everyone was like, oh my God, we need that song. And finally it saw the light of day.
Lauren, that's crazy. You can't be giving somebody an award for music that the world hasn't heard yet. That's bollocks.
But I don't think it's solely that. But I'm saying that I'm sure when people are talking about those things, they can't give it to them for that. But I'm sure in the wider conversations, they're talking about everything as a whole. And then that kind of stuff comes up.
I remember, I think like years ago, I'm not sure if it is that you remember this, Emmanuel, right? There was a track that... No, you can... I'm just going to ask you this question. There was a track that was rumoured that Nas was going to put out that was the best track in history. Like, forget about just his history. Just music history. Can you remember that? Can you remember those rumblings?
100%. And Pharrell was...
Yes, it was Pharrell as well.
Yeah,
yes,
Pharrell was meant to be producing it.
Yes.
Apparently, he paid like $1 million for the beat.
I don't know what
Yeah, it was a lot.
$1 million?
Yeah, it was crazy.
Oh my God, that's mad.
And a couple people were like, yeah, I've heard it, and oh my gosh, when it drops, blah 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 blah. You can't be giving somebody an award for flipping whispers.
But I don't think they're getting the award for that. But I feel like, you know, like when someone's looking at the wider picture. So for example, there's two people that have got this very similar pattern of like wins, and then but you can see the before and the after. It kind of goes back to that emerging thing though. You can see the forward thinking, and they might not give it to them for that forward thing, but they're like, oh, like this is going somewhere, they deserve this because they're not only winning now, the likeliness of them continuing to win is happening in the future.
Do you think that Stormzy deserved that award?
Do you know what? I saw the win, I watched it. I'm like on the fence because I can see like he done a big feature with the Chase and Status song.
Okay.
And the rap community though might not have felt the ricochet of that because it was in a different genre space. Yeah. But commercially done very, very well. So he actually has had a win. It doesn't feel like it in terms of amongst his peers. Yeah. But I was actually surprised. I thought someone like Central C would just take that. Yeah. So like, why do you think it went to him? I don't know.
Because going back to the original question I asked you about how you value award ceremonies,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you said,
Yeah.
right? I don't know if Izzy told me that, meh.
As in more towards the meh side.
Yeah.
I think they obviously, like, if I was working with an artist and they won something, I'd be so happy for them. Obviously, it's a milestone, isn't it? And you're recognized by your peers. Everyone's celebrating your success. So I like that part of it.
Yeah.
But I don't think it determines like who's the best. Like, for example, look how long it took Beyonce to win that Grammy. I was watching the Luther Vandross film the other day. That's an incredible watch by anybody, if anyone wants to watch that as well. So an amazing watch. And he took years to win a Grammy. So it just shows you that it doesn't actually see, like, it's not a true reflection of like what your success looks like. So that's why I'm like 50-50 about those things.
All right, now closer to home, because Beyonce is Beyonce.
Yeah.
So you were in two minds about Stormzy winning that award, because all intents and purposes, you believe that Central C had a greater year.
Yeah, from what it looks like across the board, like he's had international success. He just dropped that album. I thought like this was his year. It's not that Stormzy's. It's like Stormzy's not in his prime at the moment. Like he's not even in campaign mode. His last album dropped a while ago. And the thing is, I'm actually a fan of Stormzy. Like I really support Stormzy. I know there's been a lot of controversy around him at the moment with the whole McDonald's thing, but actually as an artist, what he's doing for the community, what he's given back, that like things he's created to giving back to people in Croydon, like he's done so much amazing things, and I've seen it. And even when I've been in rooms, like I don't know him, but even I've seen his demeanor with people in situations, and he's so respectful. He's like, he's just like overall, he gives me good vibes, and I'm like, yes, I want him to win. But yeah, I was just surprised that right now, where he's at right now, yeah, that would have been my choice. If it was a personal pick, I would have picked someone like Central. Despite me listening to Stormzy, me personally, more any day than I would listen to Central C.
And if it weren't Central C, who would be the other pick?
I'm trying to think who else was in the category. I can't remember who else was in the category now.
Okay, yes, that does also matter, doesn't it?
Because that, yeah, it was so.
Was Gets there?
I don't know. I think he was. I think Gets was in there.
And Bashi?
I don't think Bashi was.
Okay.
But I think Gets was. Gets is who I absolutely love Gets and what he stands for as well, and the music he makes. But I know that with Gets, he's more in a very niche position than a lot of the other rappers. Like, in terms if you look at like the stats side of things. But as in like if you know, it's one of the ones if Gets, if you know, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I know it's tough for him to compete in them kind of categories where they're looking at mostly stats as well, wins, all that sort of stuff combined.
All right. What are your personal views on the Stormzy McD's debacle?
I think the thing I didn't like about the whole thing, me personally, was like, I think it was coming from a hypocritical place from people. Because I was like, imagine we're talking about this on Twitter off your iPhone and look at Congo. And I was like, none of our hands are clean. None of our hands are clean. So I don't like where people are just like throwing tomatoes at people like, boo, constant, without actually looking at themselves. Or if they are, I'm like, okay, you threw the tomatoes, but did you write to your MP about Palestine? Did you do anything in your stance where you're so passionate? If people that stand on that side and feel that way, fairs. And then also when I went to look into the research, which I don't know for sure, so I know there's people in the comments right now because I watch the show every morning, cussing me out. But that McDonald's brought back the franchises in Israel. So because of that, they were like, yeah, we don't want to part in that. So, and that was after the fact. And then also the accusation of him taking down the post when he really took down the post. So there's lots of layers to it. But that's the thing, I have this love-hate relationship with online anyway, because people love to start throwing tomatoes without no facts. So, yeah.
And it's not because you're kind of like colleagues.
No, because I don't know him like that. I know people that know him, but I don't know him
but
like
kind
that.
of like, yeah.
Like, it's like, 6 degrees of separation. I'm like two away. But as in, like, I more personally respect him and what he's done and how he's given back. And, like, even that last album, I really enjoyed it. Like, I actually have it on vinyl because I collect vinyl anyway. But because I like to support anyone that's doing things for the black community and the diaspora.
Is there anything that Stormzy could do wrong in your eyes?
I think if he made something, I was like, it's a case by case. If he did something very mad, I'd be like, Stormzy, you be doing good stuff, but yeah, that one ain't it. That ain't it.
Yeah.
That ain't it. I think this one was a bit of it was a funny move though. I can't lie. Like I can see why there was backlash. Like on a marketing and PR perspective,
Yes.
I could see it was like, wasn't the best move. I can take that part of it for sure.
All right. Okay. Finally, before we introduce our guest, I wanna just chop your brain on the Kendrick and Drake thing here. And what I want to do is I want to go through a list of categories, and I want you to say Drake or Kendrick.
Oh, okay.
Right? Because I want to see who you're really digging with before you actually tell me who you actually like for whatever reason, emotional reason. All right. Rapper, Drake or Kendrick?
Kendrick.
For you, who's better?
Kendrick.
Why'd you say he's a better rapper?
It's more depth to it.
Okay. Artist.
Drake.
Okay. Hits.
Drake.
Okay. Features.
Drake.
Okay.
I can see where this is going. Ramsey, don't kill me, I beg.
Discography.
Oh, this is so mad. Drake.
Okay. Impact.
Drake.
Okay. Influence.
Oh, that one's a tough one because it depends on where the influence sits in it. I'm going to give Kendrick this one because the power of They Don't Like Us is still ricocheting to
So it's recency bias.
Brent,
I'm just asking. Just asking. Just asking.
Okay, I'll hold that. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Cool. Overall, based on the criteria, I just put to you.
I can't lie. Then it has to be Drake in the sense of like if we're looking at achievements, that side of things. Yeah.
All right. And beef.
Well, Kendrick won for sure.
All right. So, who do you prefer?
Actually, I've leaning towards Kendrick these days, but I can't lie. Like I don't support Drake. Like I literally have been to see him live. His catalog, the variation in the catalog, he's got something for everyone in it. And I'm going wireless, so I can't be going on like I don't like him.
Can I ask why you said you're leaning towards Kendrick?
The authenticity of it. It's
Only
more,
of late is
yeah, because
before
also,
it wasn't
I do
a
like
question
I've
that
always
you were
listened to his
questioning its
material.
authenticity,
Yeah.
but no.
Yeah, I think it's the way he dealt with it. Like, boy, I don't even know how my man's gonna come back from that. Well, now I don't know how he's gonna do that. Like, it was so clever. It was so artistic. Everything about it just was, the execution was just amazing.
Yeah. Have you gone back to basically listen to all of Kendrick's earlier work?
And I went and listened to the other album the other day.
Yeah.
Funny enough, it was the one that we spoke about on rotation when I first came here.
Yeah.
And I took it in again, and I still enjoy it because I remember at the time I even said I don't know, I might change because when first listen, sometimes I will hear songs, gravitate to it, go back and then listen again, and then start actually building, like thinking, no, actually I like this one, a few here, a few there, and then and I definitely did that with this one as well.
Beautiful. All right. I'm not sure if it is that you were a student of Grime, but I'm sure you grew up in that particular.
I like missed the window when it was like at its finest peak. I think just due to age.
So, do you think that Grime could ever reach the heights of drill and its influence? Obviously, there's a little resurgence. I'm not sure how long this will last, but do you feel as though
I do like the new wave of Grime, but I still think it is quite niche. But I don't know if they actually want it to be like in the commercial space, that they're not seeking that. So there's a lot of nights that are going on that support that. And support that movement, but they like that. I think that's the whole foundation of Grime anyway, the authenticity a part of it, and it not having to really conform.
Do they not want it to be popular? I'm not sure if they want it to conform, as in they're fighting for it not to conform. In my mind, I'm thinking, if we can get this to the stage where people are listening to this in pop culture, like it be the main music, then that's a win. They don't have to change the music in order to do that.
As in, you don't. It depends as well though, because Grime has support in different places. So So if
Sorry, Lauren.
yeah.
He's not on Discord.
Yeah, he's been trying, you know.
Well, he's not now. So tell him to come back in.
All right, cool.
Yeah. And then ring my phone or something so I will know. It's only me and Lauren in here. God damn it.
You already got a phone call, so why
God,
not?
precisely. Sorry, I'm Lauren.
That's all good. I was gonna say the impact of grime, it might not look like it is in terms of maybe in the UK, but for example, there's a grime artist called Jams. He's been making music for a long time.
Yeah.
I saw he went to like Latin America and did shows.
Serious.
So it's like it might not feel like it's doing its thing, but it's doing its things in different areas.
All right. Good morning, Ramsey.
Oh, brother Ramsey.
Morning. What are you listening?
We're blessed and highly favored. We got your fave in the studio.
Yeah, because obviously I can't. What's going on, Lauren? You good?
Well, go on.
You good, Joe? No,
good.
just the door. What you say? This discography? You said discography Drake?
Yeah, you could, bro. That's what I was saying. I was like, when I speak to Ramsey next, he's gonna cook me.
Discography, just honestly, never mind. Was your shit? Yeah.
No, not for me personally. But if I'm looking at it from a stepping back, looking at it, he's got something for everyone. That's why he's so successful. Like even in my family, we all like different things. But I know someone's got a Drake album that they really enjoyed.
For all the dogs, was your shit? Yeah.
Me personally, but I'm not
Certified Lover Boy. Scorpion.
Me, you know what it is? That's what I'm saying. I based it on like not my personal taste in terms of the just wider music community.
I get you, but you personally, discography,
Me personally,
he's still on top.
When it comes to Drake, I tap in and out for sure.
Okay.
People love to like different things, you know, bro.
But don't get me wrong, when I go to Wireless, I'll be but I think the part of Drake
Is it too loud in the background?
Yeah, you're not new here, you know. How are you doing?
Oh, sorry. Hold on. Guys, I'm at work, that's why.
Obviously
Is that better?
Yes, sure. I don't know what you've done. You tell him to be quiet.
No, I kicked him out.
First.
That's not what he did. He moved to a different room.
E-man knows.
All right.
I wanted to hear Brent's grime questions though. I'm interested.
How do you mean?
I thought you had more questions pertaining to grime.
To be honest, Emmanuel's here now, so we're looking to move on with the show.
Yeah, I was thinking.
All right, never mind.
For the people now.
All right, I'll fuck off. Let's move on. All right,
you sure I can continue, Ramsey? Are you sure? Do I get permission?
The Trump thing.
Oh yeah. All right, but I gotta go back at work soon. So if I can, I will. But yeah, love.
All right,
love,
cool.
bro.
Later.
Love. Bye.
All right. Did he really kick them out, Emmanuel?
Yeah.
Is that how it works?
Yeah, he's capable.
All right. Thank you very much, Lauren. That's
welcome.
amazing. Obviously, there are still a litany of questions that I have here for you, but you obviously going to be back
anytime.
This place is skint. All right. The headlines.
All right, people. So our first set of headlines: the Labour leader, your Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, is facing growing calls for an independent inquiry into the UK's role in the Israel-Gaza war. Critics want a Chilcot-style investigation to assess the government's decisions and actions. MPs and campaigners argue that Britain's arms sales and political stance should be examined. They believe the UK's support for Israel may have contributed to civilian casualties. Starmer has faced backlash for his initial reluctance to call for a ceasefire, and many Labour members and voters feel his position has been too supportive of Israel's military actions. The demand for an inquiry reflects wider concerns about the UK's foreign policy accountability. Some believe a review could prevent similar controversial decisions in the future. Starmer is not committed to an inquiry, but insists that his approach balances humanitarian concerns with diplomatic realities. The debate is likely to intensify as the conflict continues. Next headline. And the UK death rate reached a record low last year. This is according to exclusive analysis carried out by the BBC. Mortality experts looked at death certificates registered in 2024 and found that deaths per head of the population had returned to pre-pandemic levels and was slightly below the previous record in 2019. However, the new figure puts the UK back on its long-term trend of only gradual improvement. The research was carried out by the analysts from the Continuous Mortality Investigation, the CMI, at the Institute and Faculty of Actuaries. Sir Stuart McDonald, who's from the CMI, said this is 5 years of basically flat mortality improvement. It's pretty poor by historical standards. There was also a concerning rise in the death rate at young working ages as well. This is what he said. And a Department of Health spokesperson said that the government was shifting focus from sickness to prevention. And our last headline, new leasehold flats in England and Wales are set to be banned under the latest government plans to reform home ownership. Under the current leasehold system, third-party landlords known as freeholders own the building and the leaseholder buys the right to occupy the flat within a fixed period of time. The government says it wants to move to a system of home ownership that is more in line with the rest of the world, known as commonhold, where homeowners own a share of and have control over buildings that they live in. Freeholders say leasehold is the most effective way of managing large, complex apartment buildings, and the government has yet to set out specific plans for the conversion of current leasehold properties to commonhold, but it says it is determined to make this easier. A white paper published on Monday stated that the sale of new leasehold flats will be banned and commonhold reinvigorated with a new legal framework. And a draft leasehold and commonhold reform bill, including the details of how the new system would work, will be published later this year. That's what the government said. So we'll see what happens, man. But let's get into our topic of the day. All right, people. So, was it Friday? Yeah, probably on Friday, I think. I don't think it was on the weekend. Where Trump, Zelensky, JD Vance were all basically having a press conference. And now pretty much the whole world is commenting about what took place, yeah? Everyone that I can see anyway, it seems, is basically backing Zelensky. Everyone. So everyone in Europe is saying, no, what Trump and Vance did to Zelensky was out of order. They bullied him. They set up a trap for him. All sorts of stuff, yeah? So I want to bring it to you guys so you can see it for yourself. But I want to play a clip first so that you guys can, just see the clip that you're seeing from basically that the media's pushing. Then I'm going to show a bit more context just to see if maybe you guys' opinions change. So Brent, if you can play the first link here. And I believe this is the longest link that I found from The Independent, where they've tried to put in the relevant parts. But there's a key part before that I think makes a difference, but we'll see.
Of prisoners, but he didn't do it. What kind of diplomacy, JD, you are speaking about? What do you mean?
I'm talking about the kind of diplomacy that's going to end the destruction of your country. And do you think that it's respectful to come to the Oval Office of the United States of America and attack the administration that is trying to prevent the destruction of your country?
During the war, everybody has problems, even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless. God bless. You will not have a war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because you're in no position to dictate that.
That's
Remember
exactly
this. You're in no position to dictate what we're going to feel. We're going to feel very good.
You will feel influence.
We're going to feel very good and very strong.
You will feel influence.
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed yourself to be in a very bad position, and he happens to be right about it.
From the very beginning of the war.
You're not in a good position. You don't have the cards right now. With us, you start having cards.
I'm not playing cards.
Right now, you don't.
You're
playing cards.
Mr. President.
You're playing cards.
Serious.
You're gambling with the lives of millions of people. You're gambling with World War III. You're gambling with World War III. And what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country. That's back to you. Far more than a lot of people said they should have.
Have you said thank you once? This entire meeting? No, in this entire meeting, have you said thank you? You went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition in October.
Wait a minute. No. You've done a lot of talking. Your country is in big trouble.
I know.
You're not winning. You're not winning this. You have a damn good chance of coming out okay because of us.
President,
we gave you, through this stupid president, $350 billion. We gave you military equipment, and you men are brave, but they had to use our military.
What about
if you didn't have our military equipment, this war would have been over in 2 weeks. Your people are dying. You're running low on soldiers. Listen, you're running low on soldiers. It would be a damn good thing. And then you tell us, I don't want a ceasefire. I don't want a ceasefire. I want to go and I want this. You got to be more thankful. Because let me tell you, you don't have the cards. With us, you have the cards. But without us, you don't have any cards.
We signed the exchange of...
So, guys, what's your thoughts? This is unprecedented. Nothing like this has ever happened.
It's so crazy.
You know what I mean? In the public.
Yeah, it's like it doesn't even look like a conversation like in that setting. That looks like two people arguing like in a friendship group, not like the difference of what's going to happen in the world. Goodness gracious.
Every now and again, you hear certain politicians who are retired talk about their time in office when they were there with Tony Blair, there with another prime minister, having words of another country's representative and things of that nature, and certain things being fiery. But even those people have said what happens behind closed doors has never been as bad as this.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, just on seeing this, though, what are your views? Who do you think was in the wrong? What's your opinion about this based on the clip?
I think, you know what, it's just Trump doing Trump business, you know what I mean? Like, the thing is, what I didn't like about it, like, first and foremost, before even the layers to it, it's like, it feels so unprofessional. Like, even in a workplace, you wouldn't do that. Yeah. Like, I wouldn't even talk to like that in my staff. Like, you know, you don't know what you're talking about. Like, that actually is terrible. Yeah. And also, his body language, I felt it for him. You could see, like, he just, like, you could tell he's like, I don't know, what am I going to do? Like, they're just not going to listen to me. Yeah. You could tell he just looks so defeated. Yeah. And with someone that's going through what he's going through, my goodness, he's got a good mental strength that I don't think I would have. I see it as this is his just way of ensuring that his relationship with Putin is staying strong. Like, look, I'm standing up for you in this room. That's how I kind of see it as well. Okay.
Brent, what's your views on this?
That, yes, Trump is just trumpeting.
Yeah.
And he's a buffoon.
That's a great choice of words.
And he is Putin's puppy.
You think so? So you guys feel like he's Putin's puppy?
Yeah, because the way he nitpicked on what he said, like, he made a statement that to me wasn't as serious for needing that for that reply. That reply, and the way he's like, you don't. I'm like, okay, hold on a minute. That's a bit much. That's how it was like. It felt intense, but with that being said, based on also what you said earlier, that's if that was exactly straight after that bit. Because sometimes, you know, things can look manipulated. Like, how do we get there, kind of thing.
I don't like how it is that he was there doing.
Yeah.
That's mad.
They're putting your hand on
He's a whole leader of a country, you know. I don't think that's right at all.
Yeah, stop putting
whatsoever. Calling Biden stupid fair. I'm used to his speech right now, innit? But mental.
Yep.
And I said this stupid, like, he emphasized the stupid.
Because when I first saw the clip, I got a notification saying breaking news, something. Okay, went into it, saw the clip, and I thought, what the hell is going on there?
My goodness.
And I thought, Trump, you're out of order now. But I also thought, Vance, I think you're worse.
Yes.
Because I thought he got Trump started.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It seemed as though he had an agenda, and he said the right things and made it clear to kind of shed light on certain things that he knew that would trigger Trump.
Him off,
You know what I'm saying? So I thought, you're
he was
wicked guy.
absolutely docile until it is. Vance was like, hey, why are you disrespecting America? Then he went,
exactly.
Oh, wait, am I supposed to be in this meeting? Hey. Don't you wish bad things in America? It's not going to happen.
Exactly.
And once he's now locked in now, when he's talking to him, all he hears is, why are you talking over me for? Shush.
Exactly. But if you guys will permit me, Brent, if you click the second link here, I want you guys to kind of see this from a different angle. maybe you guys may think Vance may have set him up or whatever. But from this second clip, it's a YouTube clip, Brent.
Yep.
Yeah, from 39, you can see the time there, 39 minutes and 38. There's a question that's being asked, right, to Donald Trump. He wraps up the question, all good. Then Vance says, wait a minute, let me take that question also. And he goes on, and you're going to see it here, he goes on to basically say, the aim of America's agenda in this whole thing is just to approach it with diplomacy. We want peace. I'm paraphrasing, but that's essentially what he's saying. We want diplomacy. We're going to approach it from that angle. We're not interested in the previous administration of how they were giving you money to do, et cetera, et cetera. That's the context of all of this, right? And he ends it there, diplomacy. Then Zelensky then comes and says, wait a minute, can I say something? And then goes on to say, from 2014, Putin's been doing X, Y, and Z. We had Obama in office, we had Trump in office, we had Biden in office, and you guys told him to do certain things, and he didn't do anything. In that whole time, from 2014 to 2022, basically, you guys didn't do anything. This is what he's saying, and Trump's sitting right next to him, right? Because obviously Trump's tenure was in between those two, Obama and Biden. Then he goes on to say, so when you're talking about diplomacy, what exactly do you mean? Which, to me, I took it as a nice way of saying, what are you talking about? And that is when Vance then said, wait a minute, Mr. President, with all due respect, you haven't even said thank you. It's disrespectful for you to even come, Because it seemed like he's basically rubbishing the commitment of America from 2014 to 2022.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But again, I want you guys to see it and maybe see if you guys see it that way.
I thought you were going to show me something I haven't seen already.
No, but I want the people to see it, you know what I mean? Because outside of that first clip, it wasn't there, innit?
He said, I'm aligned with Europe. I want to see if we can get this thing done. You want me to be tough? I could be tougher than any human being you've ever seen. I'd be so tough. But you're never going to get a deal that way, so that's the way it goes. All right, one more question.
Hey, I want to respond to this. So look, for 4 years in the United States of America, we had a president who stood up at press conferences and talked tough about Vladimir Putin, and then Putin invaded Ukraine and destroyed a significant chunk of the country. The path to peace and the path to prosperity is maybe engaging in diplomacy. We tried the pathway of Joe Biden of thumping our chest and pretending that the President of the United States' words mattered more than the President of the United States' actions. What makes America a good country is America engaging in diplomacy. That's what President Trump is doing.
Can I ask you?
Sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So
all right, then.
He occupied our parts, big parts of Ukraine, part of East and Crimea. So he occupied it on 2014. So during a lot of years, so I'm not speaking about just Biden, but those time was Obama, then President Obama, then President Trump, then President Biden, now President Trump, and God bless, now President Trump will stop him. But during 2014, nobody stopped him. He just occupied and took. He killed people. You know what the contact line?
2015.
2014.
2014 and 2014.
2014.
Yeah. So
I was not here.
Yeah, but
that's exactly right.
Yes, but during 2014 till 2022, yeah, the situation the same. The people have been dying on the contact line. Nobody stopped him. You know that we had conversations with him, a lot of conversation, my bilateral conversation, and we signed with him, me, like a new president. In 2019, I signed with him the deal. I signed with him, Macron and Merkel, we signed ceasefire. Ceasefire, all of them told me that he will never go. We signed him with gas contract. Yes, but after that, he broken this ceasefire. He killed our people and he didn't exchange prisoners. We signed the exchange of prisoners, but he didn't do it. What kind of diplomacy, JD, you are speaking about? What do you mean?
I'm talking about the kind of diplomacy that's going to end the destruction of your country.
Yes, but if you
Mr. President, with respect, I think it's disrespectful for you to come into the Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the American media. Right now, you guys are going around and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems. You should be thanking the president for trying to bring an end to this conflict.
Have you ever been to Ukraine that you say what problems we have?
I have been to.
Count once.
I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know what happens is you bring them on a propaganda tour, Mr. President. Do you disagree that you've had problems bringing people into your military? And do you think that it's respectful to come to the Oval Office of the United States of America and attack the administration that is trying to prevent the destruction of your country?
A lot of questions. Let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
First of all, during the war, everybody has problems. Even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless. God bless. You will not have a war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because you're in no position to dictate that.
That's exactly what you're doing.
You're in no position to dictate what we're going to feel. We're going to feel very good.
You will feel influence.
We're going to feel very good and very strong.
You will feel influence.
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed yourself to be in a very bad position, and he happens to be right about it.
From the very beginning of the war.
You're not in a good position. You don't have the cards right now. With us, you start having cards. Right now, you don't. You're playing cards. You're playing cards. You're gambling with the lives of millions of people. You're gambling with World War III. You're gambling with World War III. And what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country. That's back to you. Far more than a lot of people said they should have.
Have you said thank you once this entire meeting? No, in this entire meeting, have you said thank you?
Today.
I need to see him doing the same thing to Putin. Talking to him like that.
Well, the thing is Putin in a position where he needs something from you, America?
No.
There we go.
That's the difference. Like, was it wise for Zelensky to even talk like this? The man, he needs America.
When you say talk like this, I'm not sure what you mean, because you do realize that it's NATO that he is kind of petitioning to, right? And there are partnerships which Ukraine is part of that allows smaller countries to feel secure that if something does happen to them, the agreement is the coalition will come and help, right?
Ukraine is not part of NATO.
I didn't say that they were part of NATO, but they've done deals together. That's why it is that NATO is even interested in this particular thing in the first place. NATO have responsibilities as a body of countries, right? And this here, pertaining to Russia and Ukraine, it's one of them. That's why is it even involved in the first place?
No, they're involved. I think this is where, obviously, the different opinions will kind of shape the direction of the conversation and whatnot, innit? It seems to me, anyway, that the US just wanted to position themselves against Russia. Russia's been warning them for years now, over a decade now. Do not put any of any of these neighboring states on Russia, do not allow them to join NATO, because we will see that as a provocation of war. You can't be having military bases on my border. Russia's saying that, and it's a fair point, because if Russia allowed, if Russia linked up with Mexico and Canada and had their bases right there on the border, America would not allow it in the slightest. They would never allow it, right? So Russia's told them, right? But they still went ahead with the NATO thing. Georgia and I can't remember another country that did it. And Putin stepped back. He said, okay, cool. 2014, obviously they annexed Crimea and all that sort of stuff. All right, fine. But he's told them, do not, Ukraine, because I think Ukraine is the biggest country in Europe, right? But he's told them, Ukraine, leave Ukraine. Don't do it. He's told them, the US still wanted to push forward. So the way I see it is you provoked Putin to act. You know what I'm saying? And now you're in this situation. Plus, Ukraine's not even part of NATO. So yes, they've got some links because they're all part of Europe in some capacity, right? But you're not in a position to be doing this sort of thing, especially when America pays probably, I don't even know what it is, maybe 70% of the contributions that go into NATO. If America pull out of NATO, NATO's done.
Yeah, so what exactly are you saying Zelensky shouldn't be actually saying?
I'm saying that you should be mindful that Trump doesn't want to continue the war. Be mindful of that. So try and get the second best thing, which is a peace deal that somewhat favors your country in some capacity, right? And anything that's going to trigger him and make him feel a particular way is not the method to go by. If you're going to try and have conversations, especially a delicate conversation like this in the public, you're going to be at severe disadvantage.
All right.
He should have been smarter.
Let's stick on that point. Did you see the beginning of the conversation where one of his aides were there asking him why he didn't wear a suit?
Yeah.
So he was provoked right
All
from
of
the
that
very
is
beginning.
nonsense, yeah, 100%.
No, but bear in mind, he's a leader of a country that's at war right now, right? And he
he's
has
never
an
worn
aide asking these stupid questions. And Trump didn't look to tell the aide, or J.D. Vance to tell the aide, why are you asking these stupid questions? So he's in an environment where he's being provoked and antagonized, right? And he has held himself up. Now, I'm not a friend of Mother Zelensky. I'm just saying there's a certain etiquette one must look to consider and observe when it is you're literally sat in front of the world conducting negotiations. Not negotiations, because they're not negotiating, but just conducting conversation, right? And I don't think anybody will look at that and think, yeah, that's right. And that was Zelensky's fault. I know you're saying that he invited Trump and Vance to basically treat him like that. I don't see how he invited that. I know you're saying you need them, so basically bend over. Essentially, that's what you're saying, right?
No, but I'm saying just be mindful of what you said and be careful to have conversations outside. I think that Zelensky was also thinking, a part of me thinks that he was thinking, if we have certain parts of this conversation here, it may benefit me. That's what I think.
When you say certain parts of conversation, who started this?
You tell me.
I watched it. So you didn't watch it?
Of course I watched it.
All the questions, he's responding to questions.
I know.
Right?
But remember,
he's
that
responding
part,
to provocation.
100%. Who's provoking him though?
J.D. Vance and the aide.
From
and
before.
Then and then when it is that Trump now gets involved, he's now literally telling him, hush your mouth, little baby.
I don't agree with that.
Don't
though.
you cry. Woof, woof, woof. What don't you agree with?
I don't agree that Vance was provoking him from before.
Wait, you just saw the clip.
What, the one that we just played?
You just showed it to me.
Yes, exactly. I don't think that was Vance. I think that was Vance saying America just cares about diplomacy.
Telling him, why haven't you said thank you?
Why is he saying to you ain't done nothing since 2014, 2022? That's what he's saying to America.
Do you know that Trump only got involved after the exchange between him and Zelensky?
Yeah, of course.
No, so that's what I'm saying. Vance started it.
Oh, so you're talking about when Trump comes in?
But we've been.
I thought we're talking about basically what triggered Vance to even react, to even get Trump involved. I'm saying Zelensky should have just allowed Trump to say that, allowed Vance to say, you know what, diplomacy, this is the aim of the game, diplomacy, peace, etc., etc. Leave it there. You don't need to say, wait a minute, Vance, let me ask you a question. You know what, since 2014, 2022, 3 different presidents, what really have you been done? Putin's been doing the same crap. What's changed?
So
you can't do that.
You're saying you wouldn't have the same thoughts if it is Trump was in the other chair because of the power that Trump has. He's not coming begging, so he should be PM.
What do you mean? If
Zelensky should be PM because he's not in the driving seat.
I'm saying if you want to say that, say it behind closed doors, though. Say it in an environment where at least you can have... The world's not watching, and those people that you're saying this to, throwing genuine questions to, right? Even though it had a bit of a something there, but genuine questions to won't feel a particular way because you're trying to blow them up in front of the world.
And when you say saying this, what exactly did he say that you think he shouldn't have said?
That you guys haven't done anything in the last 8 years.
Oh, okay.
To me, it sounds disrespectful. It does, especially when the previous guy's giving you hundreds of billions. What? Of taxpayers' money. None of these guys want to do this.
So you're going back to the whole he wasn't grateful. He's not showing gratitude.
No, but that's what it sounds like, though.
That he's not showing gratitude.
Yes, that's what it sounds like.
After this guy is saying, hey, can we just allow Putin to have his way? Because that's how Zelensky would have heard it.
Why?
Because J.D. Vance is saying, you be the one to concede.
No, because even if it is that case, right? Even if it is that.
Do you see how that could be
100%,
seen by Zelensky?
Yes,
the leader
100%.
of Ukraine. Who's currently in a war with this particular quote-unquote tyrant who the Western world do not like, right? So he's not speaking just for himself or by himself.
100%.
Okay, continue.
But this is why I'm saying that the conversation should be had behind closed doors. Because when you're saying certain things, especially in such a delicate manner, someone's gonna feel some type of way. All of that rage should be behind closed doors. That's basically what I'm trying to say. And also, the reality is you're not winning the war. You're not winning. You are people are just dying for nothing. And at the end of this, unless America gets involved fully, bodies over there, Ukraine will lose the war. At least that's what the experts are saying, right?
Apparently, it's 88 years that if they continue the same way, 88 years is going to Russia might win. That's what certain experts are saying, mind you. If they continue the same way.
So what's the possibility that Ukraine will win? Probably take 2,000
No,
years.
I don't think that
There's no possibility.
Oh, wow.
100%, but it's not like it's
not
tomorrow. That's what I'm saying. It's
Exactly.
So it speaks
and still
to-
going to
it
require
speaks
America pumping money in.
Yeah, but not just America. But yes, I understand that when he only cares about America at this point in time.
Because
right?
the difference in what America gives compared to the rest of Europe is it's disgusting. They give like 70-something%.
Yeah, but it's not just here's free money. You do realize it came with certain perks, like having bases in that particular region where they're not supposed to.
That's the only reason why they want to do it.
But fair. But
Yeah,
that's,
but
that's
Trump-
it wasn't just a handout.
Yeah, of course.
All right.
But it's still them thinking, but what's the point? Especially Trump. Trump don't want a war. You know, this is what I was saying before even Trump came into office. Even if you don't like the ceasefire deal in Israel, right, with Hamas, the man don't want fighting, right? And he said, we are wasting taxpayers. These guys were campaigning to the rest of America saying, we don't want to waste more money in this war. Like, Americans are not benefiting from this. We're just getting inflation because of the war that you're inevitably going to lose.
So apparently the deal that he had come to secure was for America to go in and mine minerals, right? And Trump was saying
500 billion.
I don't know how many minerals are there in Ukraine,
Yeah.
but obviously there would be an American presence in Ukraine, and it suggests that if there's American presence in Ukraine, Russia's not going to be looking to attack Ukraine. So that was a little back door. But I can guarantee you, whatever it is that we think is the purpose or agenda for America to be saying we want diplomacy, it isn't what it is that they be telling us. Just so you're aware.
I think that's every nation, though.
So you understand that. So I shouldn't just take
things with
I shouldn't just take what he's saying at face value then.
No, but
I shouldn't take what JD Vance is saying at face value then.
You should take nobody's thing. But
Good,
I think,
lovely.
but ultimately, I think if JD Vance and Trump have their way, they won't be fighting. So Trump, don't get me wrong, America may even extort Ukraine with all these minerals, these rare minerals. Not good, fine, but that might be. But the war will stop.
Bear in mind, this particular agreement would have Russia still occupy the part that
Crimea.
they've already stolen, right? So
if you even want to call it stolen.
But do you see what you're doing? This is crazy.
The people don't want to leave. They don't want to be part of Ukraine.
You need to realize that these two countries have been doing this before you sat in this chair.
Of course.
Right? So if you think that you know the ins and outs of this, that, and next, and the reason, there are people dying off the back of whatever they believe.
That's
You
what I'm saying.
understand? And that's the most important
But
thing.
Brent, the land that they annex here, many people believe they want to be Russian. It's just like what's that place that UK was fighting for under Thatcher? The Falklands.
Yeah.
They ain't nowhere near Britain. But people there say we want to be
Same thing
part.
happens in Spain as well with the.
Thank you very much.
I can't remember the name of the island. Is it the Catalan?
The Catalans.
Yeah, they even speak
Barcelona.
their own language and everything. Yeah.
Their own thingy. They
Yeah,
want to
but-
be separate.
No, but it's understood by Spain, and that's your thing. This is completely different.
No, it's not. It's a
complete-
known
It's
thing.
completely the same. This is
Yes.
bonkers, man.
Most people in Crimea, if I'm not mistaken, 90-something% speak Russian. They don't speak Ukraine. They speak Russian. They want to be part of Russia. At least that's what I'm hearing. This is from my sources
Anyway.
on the ground, right?
Anyway.
So all I'm saying to you is, if the war is not going to be in Ukraine's favor, why are they still fighting the war? We are, especially in Britain. Why do we even want Britain to keep funding this war? Why? They're dying. They're dying over there. They're not going to win. Unfortunately.
Did you see the press conference where your prime minister committed how much billions?
That's I'm not too sure if that's the third link that I put in there. So yeah,
That's why I keep telling you, this is not just the surface level. There is a interest for these countries that we are not aware of. We're not privy to.
Yeah, but I think that's also because the West they obviously don't like Russia. They don't like China, right? They believe that if Putin had the opportunity, he would strike and he would try and take back and recreate the USSR. But again, a lot of people who are specialists in global politics, of course, you get people on both sides, innit? But a lot of people believe that Putin doesn't want that. Like, he hasn't showed real signs of trying to get back the USSR. So why are you provoking him? Why are you provoking him?
So do you feel Trump did nothing wrong in that exchange?
No, 100% he did. Trump, I think everyone was wrong. Everyone's wrong.
So tell me what J.D. Vance did that was wrong. And then tell me what Trump did that was wrong.
I think
and then the person who asked him about his clothing.
I think the clothing thing was diabolical, to be honest with you.
That's
because
a great word.
the man has never worn a suit in the time we've seen
It's
on
true,
TV.
he never has.
You know what I mean? That's his thing. You know that's his thing.
Somebody
so don't use that against him.
Somebody asked commentator who was chiming in saying that whatever Trump did was right? He's like, but Elon Musk wears a T-shirt in the Oval Office. And then the guy responded saying, but he's not a leader of a country. But he's basically leading the country. Basically.
Oh, man.
Bonkers. Anyway, you want me to play this clip?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is the UK now, yeah? Okay. Starmer.
Sorry, before I play the clip.
Yes.
What did you say that J.D. Vance did was wrong? And then what did you say that Trump did was wrong?
Personally, I feel like if it was me, if me and you there, for example, someone's come to us for help, and they've antagonized you or antagonized me, I don't think, especially if we're in a position of power, I don't think we need to broadcast it to the world. I would have tried to calm down my response to him. You know what I'm saying? And I think Vance basically did the opposite. Vance said, okay, cool. My time to shine. And he obliterated him. That's what he did. And that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you need to say thank you, yeah? It was all that. It was the pointing and the hands and everything.
Vance took it to another level for me. I think that was one of the biggest.
Yeah, no, it was very, like, the body language was so telling. Like, you can tell it was like, oh, so you wanna say something, yeah? Let's see how this one goes.
Exactly.
Because, like I say, I get your point there. Because it's like it's not that his point's not incorrect, but it's a choice. It's being smart about where and when.
Exactly.
Innit? Yeah. So I get what you mean.
Exactly. Especially when you know the people that you've come to see
are in a position of power.
Yeah, they're the ones you need. Let's handle this in a proper way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Trump's thinking you're bright. Well,
exactly.
And what did Trump do that was wrong?
Just the way he was talking to him. I think it was disrespectful. I think everyone was like. I think. In terms of how they were talking and stuff, I think Trump and Vance were the most disrespectful in the exchange. But I do think Zelensky just he started it. He should have been smarter.
That
should have been
mental.
smarter.
All right, cool. You need to go.
I know. No, I just literally. I know I was gonna go, but I've got like a little bit of time.
That's what I'm talking about.
I was checking my calendar. calendar
because I don't want you blaming me that you were late. Yeah.
No, don't worry. I was checking my meetings. It just got pushed back an hour, so you got me a little bit more time.
All right, let me just play this clip.
Yes.
This government.
What's your thoughts on that, man?
Music is too loud over the vocals, mate.
Oh, is it?
The mix is not right.
Damn. They need to hire you, man. But to me, it just sounded like if the UK was to go to war, this is the beginning. This is the beginning right there. Because it's not the time for words, it's time to act. For peace. Yeah. What does that mean?
Yeah, act. The word act is the key part in that sentence.
You're basically saying, keep fighting.
Yeah.
Keep fighting. And if Ukraine find themselves in trouble, I don't know, these other big nations may step in.
Sorry, I like to be educated. Shadow Moses, find your way on the Discord and you come and have the conversation with me. I don't know what you're talking about.
What happened now?
He says, why is Brent acting like he knows what he's talking about? And I'm thinking it's just to do with the whole Ukraine and Russia thing, innit? So come and educate me. Find your way to the Discord and come and educate the people. And don't say that you're busy or whatnot. You ain't busy typing. Find your way to Discord. I want to see what it is that you're saying that I have no clue about. Because I never said I had no understanding of the Russia and Ukraine mess. I'm new to this. But when I'm hearing Emmanuel basically say that it's all Ukraine's fault, I'm like, hey,
I never
find your way to the Discord, please.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, they're talking in darkness all the time. Find your way to the Discord. Come and educate me.
Brent is an official wind-up, you know.
For the record, it's not Ukraine's fault. It's America's fault.
I want to know what he thinks I got no clue about. Because I never claimed
that's
to
a
be
big
no
statement
expert.
still. Like that.
Come true. Come tell me.
Know about Talking about what?
I'll wait patiently. Continue, Emmanuel.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It just seems as though Starmer's really trying to lead the rest of NATO to keep pushing and pumping money into Ukraine to help them. Fair enough, fine. They're your neighbors and whatnot. You care about them, but what does this mean for us though in this country? More taxes, of course. You know what I'm saying? But if there's a war, they're calling us up.
Yeah, I saw that that debate online, stirring from last night.
They're calling nobody up.
Have you guys got 2 passports?
I'm actually in the process of doing that.
Make sure you do.
I want to get my Jamaican passport for sure.
All right.
Also because I was like, one, for these, because you don't know what's happening in this world, and 2, I think it's always have that connection, have that one, and especially because I can make more moves back home. So that's always the thinking. But yeah, no, definitely in situations like this, it's so telling. Like, yeah, it's peak times.
That's the advantage.
But it's peak
man.
for you lot on this side, as a female gender. It's a little bit sticky, but but yeah, no, it affects your loved ones, innit? If all jokes aside, if it was real, it's peak.
Stop typing and join the Discord.
Oh no.
Brent acts like a female the way he twists people's words. Obviously, women have hurt you in the past. Twist people's words, you know. Can you imagine?
But you know this is what Zelensky did, didn't it? This is what I was saying.
What did he do?
He's giving you a little something. He's saying something,
And then you run.
and then you're reacting.
This is JD
get
Vance.
rattled.
This is JD Vance, no?
No, you're David Fast, please.
It takes just one person to rattle and shake the
That's
table.
it. That's it.
Now you're telling me you have a problem with women, black women.
What? How do we get?
Yeah, I'm guilty of that.
Oh my god.
Yes, I'm guilty. I want you to come on Discord. That's why. Whatever it takes.
Man.
God damn it.
That's too funny. Oh my god.
Anywho, let me get back in the boat. So, I think it's wild that, and very interesting that after that incident, Keir Starmer has come out to say, "Here's billions for you," but this goes against the narrative that Trump wants to basically push in his agenda. So, is there not a conflict now?
100%.
So, why is he going to do that if he wants to cuddle up close with America?
This is what's confusing to me as well. But I think he also understands, well, this is what I'm thinking anyway, that I think he understands that Trump may not mind if they keep pumping money in there, as long as Trump is not the one spending. So if Trump can step back, then okay, fine. You know what I'm saying? If you guys want to continue with this nonsense, Putin will obliterate you guys. I'm stepping back. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think he's thinking. But I think Starmer still wants Trump to step in. He still wants money. He still wants support. And this is what Zelensky, the main aim of Zelensky going there was for a security guarantee. If we have a ceasefire deal, if we have peace, you guys will back us. You know what I'm saying? That was the main point, the only agenda of going there.
It's so funny. Is your empathy capped for the people that, the soldiers that are dying in Ukraine? Because remember when we saw those videos of black people getting kicked off of trains and whatnot, not being allowed on and whatnot. Is your empathy capped a bit? If it is, you're brutally honest.
Honestly, that hasn't come to my head, you know.
Not yet.
I
was online. I'm hearing people
for the archive.
like writing threads saying, "Hey, calm down before we jump to Zelensky's rescue." I don't think it's people like us. Should we, as black people, care about other people's
business?
Hurt? Yeah, not just the business, but when they're being hurt by other people and oppressed by other people, because obviously we know about oppression, right? Should we care if it is that we know or we believe that they are racist and they don't like us?
Ooh.
But what about the children and people like that?
Yeah, should our compassion factor in the innocence?
Because
even if there's just 1% of innocence.
That's a big monster.
It's too easy.
So I'm like, what about the children? And then I'm like, I'm not backing no people kicking off no black people from no train. Hell to the no.
Exactly.
God forbid, honestly.
So, Emmanuel?
I don't think my empathy is capped for them. I think I have a lot of empathy for them. I think this is why I'm saying end the war. Because more of them are going to die. And I think it's not going to be for anything. I think it's all because of America. All of them all because they wanted to antagonize Putin. Because you want to do something that you will never allow him to do to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not a small boy. Yes, you have the most powerful army in the world, but it's still going to cost you if you go to war with Russia. Don't antagonize him. The man's far away from you. Leave him alone. His aspirations of the USSR might just be in his head. He's not done anything to actually show that he wants that. You know what I'm saying? Leave him. You don't need to have bloody thingies on like military base on his border. It's disrespectful, man. It's disrespectful. So just leave them alone. It's not necessary. If Ukraine was just minding their business and Russia was just attacking them, trying to do certain things, whatever, and it just seemed to come out of nowhere, okay, cool. I understand you step into, you know what I mean? You want to go and help. But you did certain things. You financed coups. You did certain things since 2014. You know what I mean? To really antagonize Putin and make it hard for him to just basically just chill. Am I saying Putin's the greatest guy in the world? Of course not. All of these guys are dictators. Not all of them. But you get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Not Trump, though.
I mean, even if you want to say Trump's a dictator, the man has to be voted in. Putin's been there for 20 years.
Yeah.
There's a difference. You can't put them in the same sort of thing.
All right, so he's not a dictator, but the rest of them are.
How is he a dictator? What's he done?
I remember. I just wanted to
They're all
the criteria
problematic,
which
but
is that
yeah.
you were calling people dictators.
No,
The fact that
just
it's
based on
the-
definition.
So basically, he got rid of all his competition, as in Putin. Each time it is that you have a, to be honest,
Man wins by 90%.
I'm not sure if you've seen the history, of people who go against him, and then they just.
You remember that guy? You remember that other guy? Remember that guy?
Just die.
Yeah, all the time.
Mad.
So we know what he does. You know what I'm saying? But leave the guy to do that. It's not your business.
Yes.
Good morning, Kofi.
Morning, guys.
Good morning.
Yeah, usually I'll try to argue with Eman, but today I'm not really going to, because I genuinely want to know how he feels that not Ukraine are wrong in this, but that America have antagonized this. Because this is just my feeling. Yeah, obviously I'm not as detailed in the knowledge of the Russia, Ukraine, and all the history. All I know is that obviously even before this, with the Crimea War, yeah, Eman's right. I think a lot of the people from Crimea do want to be part of Russia, but they're in Ukraine at the end of the day. They're Ukrainians. And I just don't see it's right that Putin can just say, well, these people want to be Russian. We'll just take over the country without any type of negotiation, talks, whatever the case. And now what's going on now with the Ukrainian war, I just, obviously I think, yeah, maybe US antagonized Ukraine to try and get into NATO, blah, blah, blah. But there's no way that Russia should just say what and just invade the country. Have proper talks.
Yeah.
And my issue with Putin, he doesn't have proper talks, man. He just says, no. If you guys are not going to listen to me, I'll just do what I want. So I just want Emmanuel to explain to me how he feels that it's more America's fault than, say, Russia's fault.
Good question. The reason why I say that is because, like I said earlier, regardless of the talks, regardless of what is said in the most respectful way, the US would never allow China or Russia to have army bases in Canada or in Mexico. Impossible. Right there on their border. They would never allow it. Why do you think it's okay for another superpower? Because Russia's a superpower. They're not Armenia. No disrespect to Armenia, right?
Yeah.
They are a superpower, right? And you're strategically trying to do this. Like you rightfully said, the people in Crimea want to be part of Russia because at some point in time, they were part of Russia. This is the reason. They speak Russian. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's part of Ukraine because of how the USSR was dissolved. But essentially, they want to be part of Russia. Do people have the same argument when Thatcher sent troops over to try and fight for the Falklands? The Falklands nowhere near Britain. Nowhere near Britain. You know what I'm saying?
True.
You know what I mean? But they said, cool, the vote was the people in the Falklands want to be part of Britain, so we will fight for their right to be British. And X and Y, and we know what happened, right? So it's the same sort of principle there. So what I'm saying is, if you want to live by a certain standard as a particular country, afford Putin the same sort of thing. You may not like him, fine, but afford him the same thing that you do, because you wouldn't allow him to be on your borders, and you've taken back Falklands. You know what I'm saying? And look how long it took to give back the Chagos Islands the other day. And you know what I mean? Like, people do this all the time. You know what I'm saying? And the last thing is also, what was the other question you said? You said something. Yeah, Putin doesn't want to sit down and talk. Putin, during the start of this war, he had tried to sit down and talk. And when when it seemed like he was, you know, like he laid everything bare to be like, okay, cool, let's reach some sort of peace deal. What did they do? They sent Boris Johnson all the way over to Ukraine. And the next day, peace deal talks were totally thrown away, and they were given like 60 billion to fight the war. So Putin, I think, has tried at least, even if you don't like the terms, he said, I will cease the fighting. Let's sit down and stop this madness. Putin, what's his name? Boris Johnson goes over there and they continue the war.
Okay, sorry, I get all of that. Okay, so first of all, with regards to the initial in 2022, yeah. So you're saying that the US they want Ukraine to join NATO, so that if they join NATO, the US can be on the Ukrainian, effectively in Ukraine, and that will be on the border of Russia. But was it guaranteed that Ukraine were going to join NATO?
Okay, so this is what sorry to cut you. Yeah, but this is basically what I'm getting at. This is why I think the US is so bad, because again, this is based on my limited knowledge in it, right? I don't know everything, but the way I see it is, if they are fully part of NATO, the US would have to fully back that war. They would fully do it, right? And this is the reason why, when it first started, Zelensky was really trying to push for Ukraine to officially be a member of NATO, because then the guarantee is there. As soon as Russia attack us, you guys will all step in. But the US don't want to do that. Why? Because the US don't want to fight. They want to have, like Brent was saying the other day, your cake and eat it too, right? You want to have the benefit of having your base right there on the border of Russia, but you don't want to also have Ukraine in the fold as part of NATO. You're using Ukraine. You're using them.
Yeah, okay. So if that's the case, look, if the Ukrainians say we want to be part of NATO, and US say no, we don't want you to join NATO, why can't Russia leave it as that? Like, okay, the US aren't going to join NATO. The Ukraine aren't going to join NATO, so we don't need to go invade the country. Yeah. My thing is that they're always being preemptive. It's like, you guys, why are you guys even talking about NATO? We're going to come over. And my thing about Russia with Ukraine is that even though after USSR and the split up of nations, the Russia, well, especially Putin, he has this feeling that Ukraine is my country. I don't care that they're a separate country. Ukraine is my country. So with the Crimea War and all that sort of stuff, it kind of was really kicked off because wasn't it like 10 years ago that there was a Russian, well, he's a Ukrainian leader, but people saw him as a Russian puppet, and he was voted out by the Ukrainian people. Yeah, and Putin didn't like that, and then pretty much after that, that's when the Crimea War occurred.
But there was talks about the election even being bogus, isn't it? Because remember, he sided with Putin, like you just said, innit? But I think there was something bogus about it that they didn't like.
The Russians,
because the US was involved. You know what I'm saying? The US was involved, and I believe they financed the coup.
But is that fact? Is that fact? Because it just seems to me that if Russia don't like a result, they just say it's a coup, and then they step in.
No,
so
don't get me wrong. I hear you, but that's I think that's facts that they financed the coup. But it might be because of what you just said, that the guy that a lot of people in Ukraine didn't want to be part of. What do you call it? Didn't want Crimea to go in it, but it doesn't matter what the rest of Ukraine want. The people in Crimea want to go. You know what I'm saying? So let them go.
The people in Crimea want to go. Okay, and I'm actually going to try and link this to Nigeria. Okay. Yeah. So if the people in Crimea want to go, but you're still part of Ukraine, you still got to have proper negotiations and whatnot.
Yeah, agreed.
So look, now this might be a loose link. So I know with the Biafra War, the Igbo people don't see themselves as Nigerian. Yeah. They can't just up and leave Nigeria. You got to have negotiations. Agreed. If you don't, then wars occur. So don't you have to have proper negotiations, talk it out. My issue was that Russia just said, these people aren't yours, so we'll take it back. So like Biafra War, I'm just using that as an example. Yeah. If the people of Igbo, for example, are friends with the people of, I don't know, Ivory Coast or your neighbour country, Benin, but then said, the Igbos aren't Nigerians, but then we're going to come and take over the Igbo area of Nigeria, and they're now ours. No one would rate that. So that's why I don't see. My issue with Russia is that to me, I don't feel they do proper negotiations. I don't feel that if they don't come and take your country or start invading, I think there's a better way to go through it. Don't get me wrong, I'm not super pro Ukraine. I think them even talking about NATO is very stupid of them. But there's a way to go around it.
I agree.
And my issue sound like Putin, who you said he's been there for 20 years, but brother, anyone who goes against him disappears. So
yeah,
don't take that seriously. I just feel that there's a better way to for them to do negotiations. That's just my opinion.
No, I fully agree with you. You can't just, you know what I mean, just go and invade a sovereign country. You just can't do that. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, like you're saying, or at least like I was saying, you're provoking them. That's how I see it. And you know what I mean? And I think America would have acted if Russia or China did the same thing with Canada or Mexico on their borders. They would have acted. They wouldn't have needed to see the bases built up. They wouldn't have needed to see anything. They would have said, no way is that happening. Remember the whole Cuban missile? There you go. There you go. So it's not even like we have to deal with hypotheticals. It's happened. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just basically saying, don't say that it's bad when Putin does it, but you guys do it all the time. You know what I'm saying? And that's all. That's basically what I'm trying to say. And I just really feel for the Ukrainians, honestly.
Yeah.
Because they just caught up in Russia and America's nonsense. You know?
Yeah. True.
Yeah, man.
All right, guys.
Thank you for your call, man.
Thank you.
All right, bye.
All right. I think we can wrap up there.
Yeah, I got a couple of hello Eddie. Let me just say hello quickly. Hold up. Unmute him. Good morning, Eddie.
Good morning.
How are you?
How you doing?
Blessed and highly favored. What have you got to say to the beautiful Lauren?
I have to say, Lauren. How you doing, Lauren?
I'm good, thank you. How are you, Eddie?
Good, thanks. Good to hear your voice.
Oh, thank you.
Pleasure.
That's it? All right, fair.
Short and sweet, innit? Short and sweet.
Yeah. Eddie, keep locked in. And we'll see you here tomorrow.
Yes, you as well.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
All right. Let's move on to the headlines.
Yes, do it.
The top is wonderful. God damn it.
All right, people. So, President Trump is back. Well, he never left, man. And he said that he's moving forward with the 25% tariffs on goods imported from Canada and Mexico into the US, adding that time has run out to reach a deal. US stock market sank in response to the measures, which he has threatened since earlier this year and said will now go into effect on Tuesday, so today. An additional 10% tariff on Chinese imports is also expected to come into force, leaving all three of America's top 3 trade partners facing significantly higher trade barriers than just a few weeks ago. Trump said at the White House on Monday, no room left for Mexico or for Canada. The tariffs, they're all set. They go into effect tomorrow. Canadian Foreign Minister Melanie Joly told reporters later on Monday, let's be clear, if Trump is imposing tariffs, we are ready. Joly noted that Canada did not want a trade war, but would hit back if the US started one. Mexico and China have also said that they will retaliate against the US tariffs, raising the prospect of a widening trade war. Trump threatened to impose the tariffs, which are a tax added to a product when it enters a country, onto Canada, Mexico, and China in response to what he said was the unacceptable flow of illegal drugs and illegal immigrants into the US. Next headline, and a statement by the Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky saying a deal to end the war with Russia was very far away has drawn a furious response by Donald Trump. America will not put up with it much longer. This is what the US president said in a social media post before accusing Zelensky of not wanting peace. A summit of mostly European leaders in London on London on Sunday agreed a 4-point plan to guarantee Ukraine's defense in the event of a peace deal with Russia. Hence the clip that you guys saw earlier. Trump said, apparently referring to the summit held 2 days after his fiery clash with Zelensky at the Oval Office, that probably not a great statement to have been made in terms of a show of strength against Russia. What are they thinking? The summit was hosted by the UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer and was intended as a show of support for Ukraine and an attempt to reduce differences between Western countries over Ukraine. Britain and France said that they are working on a European-led solution to the conflict. Next headline, and trigger warning on this one, guys. 2 people, an 83-year-old woman and a 54-year-old man, have been killed after a vehicle drove into a pedestrian area in the city of Mannheim in Western Germany. 5 people were seriously injured and another 5 suffered minor injuries in the incident. Authorities arrested a lone suspect, a 40-year-old German man, who is not believed to be linked to any extremism but shows concrete indications of mental illness. The suspect, who prosecutors said was a landscape gardener, remains in hospital in a stable condition after shooting himself with a gun loaded with blanks. And yeah, that's it for headlines.
Amazing. Before we go into asking for a friend, because I want to get Lauren's insight in this. Just so y'all are aware, early on in TDA history, there were questions regarding Eddie's validity, right? And he kindly sent us a video, and I remember playing this.
I remember this.
Yeah, I remember playing this, but I think people have forgotten. Or those who are new, I need y'all to know he's not a catfish. He's a real handsome young man from New York.
Yeah, and he's in the Discord.
Yes. So let me just play the message that he sent in for the people them. Oops.
You're feeling the conspiracy now, right?
Yo, this is Eddie, and I love TDA.
You need to run that back so you know it's not AI.
Yo, this is Eddie, and I love TDA.
Right? So Eddie is real. And he's one of our staunchest supporters. So, please, we don't harbor criminals here. We don't harbor catfishes here. He's real. All right, asking for a friend.
Yes. All right, so asking for a friend is the first of 2. This person says, okay, the person's 28 years old, yeah. It's a man. I feel a bit dodgy and sad about my female friends. I have a group of female friends that I've known for a while, and I introduced them to one of my boys not too long ago. My boy and those female friends got along really well, and they're good friends now. The thing is, I know, he knows, and practically everyone else knows that he's typically the more handsome, good-looking archetype.
Oh dear.
He's literally a part-time model and gets compliments by women all the time. I'm not jealous, by the way, but it's just an acknowledgement. The relationship with my female friends has sort of stayed the same, or even, if anything, dwindled. And the relationship with them and him has grown super strong. It's to the point where they're in group chats together, going out together, doing TikToks together, and from the outside looking in, their relationship has blossomed. I'm a bit jealous of that because it's just like even when I'm around them, I see that they make more of an effort to do things with him than they do or did with me. And it's almost like I've become a side or third wheel in the friendship. Honestly, I think it's because he's better looking than me. That's why they make more of an effort to do more friend stuff with him than they do or did with me. And I just feel like it's not a nice way to see the foundation of a friendship. In essence, they've seen him, but they have been way more intentional and intense in their relationship growing as friendship than they ever did with me. I genuinely think the difference is because they thought he was good looking. I'm sure they both don't fancy him or have a crush on him though. Even when we go out, they always give him compliments on his appearance and never give me any. That's not that deep, but it's just like from that point onwards, I'm third wheeling, and it would be nice to hear a genuine compliment, even if it was just to boost my self-esteem, right? Imagine if Esther and Gina came in every day and always say Margs and E-Man look good and ask them two to go out and rarely say it to E-Man. How does that make sense? You trying to say Mark's Brent? I think email would notice and clock it, but not see it as that deep. That's kind of how I feel. But that's also because I'm melanated and jam-packed with the melanin. But anyway, and before you say or suggest anything, my mate's not gay.
That didn't even got around my mind. That's what's so mad about it.
Exactly.
I did not think that once.
If anything, he's a bit feminine or not as masculine or has more of a soft side than majority of the man then, but he's not gay. I'd highly doubt it. And even if he was, it still wouldn't change that much for me. I remember one of the girls did an IG Q&A a while back and she called me and the other guy, one of her guy besties, and the other day, the same question was asked and she put him.
He's...
Yeah. It was a horrible feeling, I can't lie. It felt like I had been forgotten, but I hadn't done anything wrong. Am I tweaking or are my observations correct? Do women have more leniency or make more of an effort to grow and obtain opposite sex relationships with men that are more attractive? What should I do to stop this feeling I have?
My goodness. Well, firstly, me personally, I don't make friends of opposite sex based on their attractiveness. It's based on what we have in common, common things, things you have in common, morals, that sort of thing. But what I took from that, though, it seems like there's a lot of insecurities going on personally, which I don't want them to feel attacked by. It's just like everyone's got their things in it. It's something that me and my good mate, Christiana, talk about all the time, about how you work through insecurities and how you don't want to deflect those onto others. So I think in this situation, it's given a bit of that as well. So it's like you might start reading into things a little bit further than you do just because of where you're at in your life. And insecurities sounds negative, but it's something that you can work and overcome because your perception of yourself, it doesn't sound very positive. I didn't hear anything about the good things you bring to the friendship or there's a reason why you were friends with them in the first place. Like they were friends with you for a reason. And maybe because you're retreating, maybe that's why they're gravitating to that other person. It's not to do with your looks because maybe you're displaying that in a sense, which doesn't make it nice and it should not be fair because there might be context. This would be interesting to hear from another perspective because obviously it's only come from one lens. But it could be because you're not really confident. They might be like, oh, you know what? Let's just tap into, the other guy. He might be more social. He might want to go places. It could have an element of truth to it. I can't lie. There are some people out there that unfortunately are fickle, but it might be numerous reasons. I don't think it's a looks thing alone. I like to think so. Maybe it's building up your confidence and maybe having a conversation with your friends. Like, oh, I've noticed that we haven't really done anything together. Like maybe not bring up the looks thing and start with that, but oh, I haven't really seen all you guys, or we haven't done this together, and see if that helps things because it might just be letting them know that you're willing to participate.
Do you feel like if he had other women showing him attention, he would care about any of this?
Boy. because that also is another thing because it's like, even though it sounds like these are platonic friendships, right? But is it because you like, some people might want the female friendship because it is like a way of, how can I put it, like fulfilling something that you'd get maybe from a romantic relationship, but without the romantic elements of it. So what maybe would be quote unquote female energy or, feminine energy around you. And maybe you don't have that as well. So maybe that might play a part in it because you're saying that if he had that, maybe if he was in a relationship or he was dating, it wouldn't be so much of a issue in the forefront of his mind because he would have other elements of his life.
Are you saying that he don't have female energy?
As in that energy, he might like that energy even if they're not, as in what you might get from even if you're dating a woman, but without the actual romantic or like any sexual element. And maybe that's what he's like, oh, like I've lost that element of my life. So it could play a part, especially if he's single and you might not be dating and he's just kind of like wants that energy to bounce off of it and he's kind of losing that to the other friend. And
obviously I'm definitely, Brent, are you listening? Yeah?
Yes.
I don't want to obviously assume too much in it, but it sounds like from this year that obviously he's a guy or whatever. The other guy is a guy a bit more feminine than he is, but the guy ain't gay or whatever. So that means he's not gay, I'm assuming. And he's a bit more masculine presenting than that other guy. But whenever you're going out with these girls. It's fine, right? But why aren't you going out with other guys and getting girls?
That's fair.
You know what I'm saying? Like, why you want to go from place to place?
I've had that issue. Like, like, for example, like I had a really close male friend, and people would assume that we was in a relationship. So other men wouldn't approach me because they'd assume it's my boyfriend, and it was not that at all. And then it's not till after, like, me and him, like, we just drifted apart, life happened and whatever. And then someone would be like, oh, what happened to so-and-so? Like, and I'm like, what do you mean? And then they were like, oh, you know, like, I'm like, that ain't my man. So it was a bit awkward. And I was like, oh, so, and then it's not till with reflection, you're like, oh, so that was the perception people had. I also have on the other end of the spectrum, because I have a friend, the same friend I was referring to, that Brent knows very well. She's very touchy-feely, hold hands. And like, literally men have approached her and gone like, oh, like, you guys are lucky, she's a lucky girl. And I'm like, lucky girl for what? This time she's a whole engaged woman to a gentleman. So yeah, it does, like, it could be even that could block your blessings in a way. And I get it, like, we should be able to do that, but you know, you can't control other people's assumptions.
I don't think this is true.
No, I don't agree with that either.
Nah, I mean, of course not.
Yeah.
Why are you moving like you're speaking from experience?
No, of course not. I'm just saying.
He's like, no.
I think the women want male energy, innit?
Yeah, like, I think obviously it's a case by case. Some people might like that, but I don't think that's like that's quite a big generalization in my opinion.
100%.
Yeah.
I think maybe. Yeah, sorry, go on.
No, I was gonna just say, I like, sometimes the differences is what makes it good. That's what you like. You enjoy some bringing different things to the table. So yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry for the audio listeners on Spotify. Basically, somebody put a statement up saying nowadays you need to have female energy to bag chicks, unfortunately, and we were just responding to that. I'm aware that I didn't actually read the actual tweet, but never mind.
I think maybe, like, oh no, maybe it depends on the age group and whatnot. Where it's like sometimes some girls are very standoffish. They're just with their crowd, and if you don't have a girl with you to kind of break the ice and introduce or something, maybe, you know what I mean. But
yeah, because I've been that woman. I'll be like,
there you go.
You know, like, where sometimes the guy will be around the woman, and then because I'm there, it's like reassuring because there's like another woman there, like a safety blanket of sorts. Like, even one time, this is so random, but I went on I know two people that met, and then I knew both the guy and the girl, and then he asked her on a date, and she was like, no, I'm not going, and she was like, I'm only going if Lauren comes. And he was like, all right then. And we all went on the date. Me there, I enjoyed myself. Had my dinner, and I was like, see you lot later. Many cocktails after. And we had a time.
Did he have a good time though?
The thing is, me and him are cool, so he just was like, you know what? And we're still that didn't end in them staying together very long, to be fair. But I mean, it's still my guy, still my brethren. I'm still friends with the girl too. It just didn't work out for them. But like, he was happy, I think, because I knew him actually longer than the woman. So me and him have known each other for years. She was actually more new to the social situation. Okay. So it was just like, oh, Lauren's my mate anyway, why not? Kind of thing. But I was like, at first I was like, you sure? And I was like, this is a strange concept. But yeah, the dinner was nice. So yeah.
Christy's pretty much summed it up, man. She said, if you're a sniper, you don't need to have female energy.
That's not what it says.
If you're a sniper, you did need to wait, what?
Is that what she's saying? What's she saying?
You did need to have female energy, please.
I know how you've read it. I know how you've read it.
So what do you think?
But I do believe she is saying you don't need to have female energy.
I was going to say, I assume that's a typo.
Yeah.
But let's just see if it's a typo or not. She's going to...
I don't want to speak for Christy. She might have like, guys, wrong point completely.
No. Christy's all good. This is a new leaf that we're turning over. Well, I'm turning over. I'm on a mission to basically turn back the mess I've created. I heard
Christy. I tuned in about your
literally maligned this young, beautiful woman, this gentle woman, and I'm on a mission to basically, to walk that back. So there'll be no type of Christy.
No mix-up business, Brent. You're on a new journey. New beginnings.
100%. What do you think about this dilemma manual, though?
In what way?
But you haven't answered.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, okay. What did you say?
Oh, actually, no, I didn't go into it. Okay, the questions are...
No, Shadow said that you did. Shadow said that you did. You did.
Okay, do women have more leniency or make more effort to grow and obtain opposite sex relationship with men that are more attractive? I think that's just human beings, though. I think sometimes,
to the actual a better looking person in that sense.
do you know why? Because I think people who are better looking, you know what the thing is? It depends on the type of look. Because some people who look good, right, who are very attractive, some of them have a very welcoming vibe about them. You just like their energy.
They carry confidence, yeah.
Some people are very good looking, but they have a very stern sort of the model sort of thing, and that's maybe not where you venture in it. Yeah. But I think as human beings, you just want to be around people who have a nice vibe, a nice energy.
Yeah, I agree. I think maybe in a sense of like you're reflecting the way you carry yourself. It might not even be looks in terms of like physical attraction. It might be just in terms of like you dress really smartly or you look really tidy. It might be a reflection of your mindset. Like, oh, that person carries themselves well. I want to be around that energy. Not necessarily because that person's like prettier or more handsome. Because I can't lie, I think I would do the same if I was to be honest. That's just be real. Like if I saw someone that looked a little bit disheveled and someone a bit smarter, you might take it a little more serious. Obviously, this is all assumptions and it could be wrong. That person might have a terrible character. But maybe like on first impressions, because it's like a reflection of, like they look a bit more put together. Maybe that's someone that's got a little bit more stability. If someone looks a little bit chaotic, you might be like, maybe that's not the one for me.
Yeah, maybe they're picking up on your negative character and persona, the spirit of comparison and whatnot.
The lack of confidence.
Because I've seen bare women like around clapped fellas because they're interesting.
Yeah, 100%.
So I know how interesting you are as a friend, but I don't think it's just because that guy is handsome. Nah.
Yeah, more time if I've dated guys and my friends will be like, they're like, this is the one.
This is it.
And I'm like,
this is it.
Like,
I don't think it's just about looks.
Conversations.
I don't think it's just about
The
looks at
things
all.
we have in common, and it's like cool.
Yeah.
There's the term. I don't know if I like this term, to be fair. When people are like, oh, I like medium ugly men.
Yeah.
That term is crazy.
Yeah.
But like they're saying like, it's enough ugly that I can cope with, but I like the rest of it. It's a crazy statement, but like it reminds me of that.
So get more interesting, young man, and please stop the full hateration.
But shouldn't you also just try and get women?
He needs to build up his self-confidence. That's the key thing that he needs to think
And
about.
how does he get women? Be more interesting and stop hating on your friends.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but he's never given the impression that he's not like a good-looking guy. He might just be not as good-looking as the model.
Well, the fact that he's actually mentioning how good-looking he is.
Yeah,
but he's a model though. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't know what does that mean. What does that mean?
He's basically he's trying to say the model is universally just good looking.
Like he's
and
like,
I'm just you know what I mean?
I'm just a guy vibe. Yeah.
To be honest, Shadow said you're right.
But that's where he needs to.
let me not complain or twist it.
But that's to me is the foundation of this. He needs to build his self confidence.
Yeah.
Like and not think about others. He's thinking about others where maybe you could do things like maybe, you know, carry himself a different way that makes him feel better. Like, I know these things are quite superficial, like clothes and things, but if that's what makes him feel better, as long as you're not, I always say, this is the rule that my mum taught me, as long as you're not doing anything that you can't pay your bills, then do stuff that you can do to improve it. If it means buy clothes, if it means, you know, make him more, also just the physical of actually just message them and make an effort, because I haven't heard him mention that part. As he reached out to try and build the relationship back, he's there sitting more in his mind when it might not be the reality.
Yeah, it's not just his looks that has gotten your friends, your female friends going over the other side, bro. It's not. It's not. So anyway.
All right. Next one. This is from a 35-year-old gentleman, and he says, I found out that my wife has a porn folder on her computer and on her phone.
What? Sorry. Wrong one. That's the one.
If you say so, Brent. If you say so.
Are you always interested in what tickles your friends or your partners as it pertains to sexual stuff? Are you always wondering what are you really into?
What?
Doesn't it tell a lot about the person if it is you find out what they watch, what they like?
Potentially. Depends on what they're watching. That is a big thing. That's a big part of it.
Because just imagine, right? Your brethren, Emmanuel, likes like trans stuff. Like, would you think that they have certain
yeah, I mean, I'll be confused. I would just be confused.
Like if you found out, like for example, let's play this stupid game. Why not? Right?
All right, cool.
What do you think I like if I watch porn?
I don't know.
I said let's play a stupid game. You said yes.
I nearly cussed, but I was trying to be good.
based on my character, what do you think I am into?
I would have absolutely.
But that's why I'm saying play a
idea.
stupid game. Let's play a stupid game.
Yeah.
I know you have no idea, but you know.
Boy.
Don't worry, we'll get yours just now.
You could. That's. Yeah. Where would you even start with that?
Come on.
Well, you just, I don't even know.
You see what happens, Shadow? This is why I have to basically twist. Because if it is, I just leave it here, we would just continue. So I have to basically lean in, pose,
pose things.
You know? So, I believe you watched porn before. I believe you have watched porn before, Lauren, right? Please stop me if I'm wrong.
My mom's watching this, but it's okay.
Oh, serious? Well, I believe your mummy's watched porn before.
Because you look nice and green.
Oh, serious?
Yeah.
Let me just stop talking.
Mom, if it's still there, turn it off, please.
Let me stop talking. All right, let me focus on Emmanuel.
My mom's watching too.
To be fair though, my mom is she's a very open person.
Come on.
She's not gonna go home and chastise me. I am a grown woman. So.
Come on.
If anything, she'll be at home laughing. Because we had a conversation about something similar, funny enough, yesterday.
Focus on Lauren.
And me and her had a real laugh. So yeah, no, I'm lucky. I do have mom that can have that, but yeah, it's funny. So sorry, mom. Yeah, no, yeah. I have witnessed that before. I'll put it like that.
Cool. So if you come and tell me that you're into bestiality, you're what I've perceived of you gone, clear. My head gone. Now your friend, one who sits there.
I know exactly. I know what's coming.
No, when she said that she was into certain things,
I know.
I wasn't surprised.
You wasn't surprised?
As God's my witness, I wasn't surprised. Because remember, I've known her for a while.
Yeah.
Right? She used to come and record.
Yeah.
And I had seen a glimpse of who she was outside of her interaction with me.
Okay.
And I've built my profile on a lot of people just based on interactions, what they say, how they respond to questioning, how they respond in, makes company certain X, right? Mm-hmm. So I can hazard a guess. And if it is that they tell me something, I'll be like, that fits.
That person.
That fits. Now, when she said what she said, I'm like, that fits. Because for me, that fits.
Because she's always she throws spanners in the works.
120%.
So it was given on brand.
120%.
She told me, she's like, Brent's gonna know this about me. I said, why did it even come up?
Now, for you, I don't think that you watch anything mad wild. I know you can shake your head because your mum's watching. Hear that?
No, but that was natural response.
Fair. And with Emmanuel, I don't see him going to porn anyway. Right?
Do you know what, Fairs? You just, because you come across very respectable man. So, Fairs.
But I actually believe he would shake his head in the mirror if he caught a glance of him actually watching porn. He's like, look at this degenerate. This is not what the black man's supposed to be doing. So that's how it is he's come across. So if it is he comes to tell me that he's partial to little porn, he obviously likes, black on black, right? Because nothing else makes sense to him. I'll be like, fair. If he tells me he likes a bit of is it bald? Is it called bald?
What's that?
Blacked. That's it. Blacked. Where you get some white women punished.
That's why I had a moment and then I realised what it was.
It was the lick back. Lick back series. Go show your daddy this. In some weird way, I'll be like, fair, I think I understand why you do that. And when he's watching, he's like, yeah. Take that.
Oh, that is too funny. Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
my goodness. Yeah. But I don't know why I got hair. Why did I get hair?
Who knows?
What did I get
Who
hair?
knows?
What Tonya said.
What did Antonio say?
It's a Brent, that is the best. Oh man.
Sorry, I don't even know why I got hair. Why did I get hair?
Also, Brent, that let me learn about you.
Huh?
That let me learn about you.
What did black?
You just made a lot of reference points.
No, I've seen a lot of people send me stuff all the time, right?
Fair.
I remember I'm
But how would they say? Wait, no. Hold on a minute.
I'm an inquisitive filler, right?
No, me too. Because sometimes I'll see those things just to be like, is this what the people are going on with?
This is.
It's not like as in terms like, oh, this is so making people excited in that kind of way. It's like,
yeah, I'm so interested in human behavior, like interested.
Me too. I'm too in for my own good. That's the
and how it basically manifests among society, right?
Yeah.
So your porn tabs and your favorites and whatnot, it says a lot about you. I changed my mind completely about a certain fella who's well known in the podcast industry when I happened to have I was given his laptop for something.
Oh, Lord.
And I didn't expect people to have folders, right, of archived content, vintage content, right? Vintage.
So it's pixelated and stuff?
No.
Okay.
It wasn't as HD as possible, but you know when you had those CDs or DVDs that came with covers, so you know exactly what's on there and whatnot. Like physical copies, right? But he had ripped it.
That's insane.
Right? And then categorized it in...
What?
He's making crap up, man.
Yeah, sure. Yes, and also the talent.
Years.
No.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
So when...
Wait, he was this
You don't
on the laptop
understand.
and
You
you
don't
started going...
I've heard so many whispers, right? About this
particular
this
gentleman.
individuals, but to have an archive.
All I'm gonna say is when this ends, I'm gonna say a name and you have to tell me yes or no.
I will of ripped content, right? And it goes back. Bear in mind, I had to ask him about this.
Yeah.
Oh,
wait, what?
These weren't hidden folders.
There wasn't hidden.
They were on his desktop.
Desktop?
Do you know how sometimes you basically go within the subfolders to basically find stuff? Only you know how to find that.
He said,
so
not
if it is,
easy
I stumble
access.
on it.
I'm sitting there.
I'm guessing he's thinking, this is my laptop. Why am I hiding anything?
Yeah, he said,
You
why
understand?
not?
So I'm like,
business.
brother, why? He said, why what? He said, like, if I had given somebody my laptop, I'm hiding everything. Or I'm removing stuff that I don't want them to see because I know people are curious.
Yeah.
Why is it on your desktop? He's
You
like,
didn't have to go search.
he said, wait. What are you talking about? I said, obviously, you are known as a connoisseur of this thing, right? But I didn't know that it was voyeurism as well. Do you understand?
This is getting so interesting.
When I say voyeurism, it's not that he's looking at people.
As in not in a
these are full DVDs, right? These over-the-counter stuff. But he's ripped it.
Yeah, the backup is the.
His response was, "Nah, it's nostalgia, there, man." I'm like, "What does that mean? Like, what does that mean, Manuel? Is that like
Nostalgia,
having like records?
Like when you buy vinyl?
You're a collector.
Yeah, I collect vinyl. I ain't collecting that.
It's not physical anyway, don't it?
I'm there thinking, but we have the internet. Like, all of it's easy to
That's
access now.
But yeah, he could just
Like, you don't need to do
find that
this.
online. Yeah.
Maybe it's just if the internet's down.
He wants all options, all bases covered.
I just changed the way I looked at him then. Do you understand? Not that he had
It's
like
not even it's not even the material, it's the way he's kept the material.
Collector.
Yeah.
Right? So maybe I should have a newfound respect for him instead. Because he's detailed, right? He likes to basically cherish legacy. I could change it up, Shadow. You know, I use it good sometimes, bro. Look.
This is definitely glass half full approach. I respect it.
And if at any time Pornhub pops down, he's got a new hustle. He's the plug.
What?
He's the plug. I've got the juice. I've got the juice. this.
Listen, the way that this world's looking, Trump and them and our Vex and all that, who knows? Might be in a war, no internet. Man's got a backup. It's crazy.
But you must also know that obviously with every era, every generation, the tactics and the production changes and whatnot. Do you understand? It was so dated. So dated.
So
but anyway, that's
did you
him.
like take a sample of each to the videos to understand the type of videos it was?
But did I transfer them over to
No, not that. I mean, did you play enough to understand what categories were going on?
Strange enough, because I'm a curious individual, I knew what these folders were because the names, right? The names are familiar, right? So I'm thinking, this can't be. I said, it can't be. Maybe this is just a way.
This has to be a mistake.
This can't be. And I clicked it and I said, it is. It's right in the notes. It's right. I'm thinking, I shook my head. I was like, what? There's no way you need all of this. There's no way you need this. Not even for nostalgia. There's no way.
No, this is mad. Yeah,
and he didn't even say, why are you looking at my stuff? He starts laughing.
He wasn't.
Come on, these are classics, man.
He wasn't bothered.
No. But I'm there thinking, do you walk with your laptop, put it on, and then entertain? Like,
yeah, like how do you use the material? I get what you're saying, yeah. Like, do you want to do this? Like, yeah.
And also, I do believe that somebody sharing their likes is one of the most intimate and vulnerable things that, you can share with somebody.
True. So,
shout out to first guy. I don't know if he's vulnerable enough, but that handsome friend is probably doing that.
I don't know about that.
No?
I don't think that's a common occurrence.
God damn it.
All right. Even if like someone wants to share what they like and stuff, surely they won't just open up a laptop and say, this is what I like.
Like, by the way, yeah, like it's a presentation. Like, is it a PowerPoint slide? What's going on here? Serious thing.
I don't know.
How do you even get there? Because even if you was in like, I'm just thinking, if you're in an intimate situation, two people get intimate, like, how do you then implement that part of it in? Oh, by the way, wait a minute, I've got this thing and you draw a laptop. It's a bit sterile, isn't it? Goodness.
Oh man, man.
I don't think anybody. Well, maybe if you maybe to guess like what I'm into, because for a guy who's so, sorry, that suggested I'm into stuff. I'm not into stuff. My parents aren't watching this, but I'm not into stuff. I'm not into stuff. But if I were, I can't do the regular stuff.
Why?
Wait.
What do you mean?
Oh, you wouldn't want to do the regular?
I can't do regular stuff. Regular stuff is so... you're seeing it on music videos.
You're saying it's too mundane?
Oh, come on, man.
So you want a little pizzazz?
Because me, myself, it's not just the visuals. You get me?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's not just the visuals. So, for me...
I don't even know what that means. It's not just the visuals. What else?
This is too funny, I swear. Do you know what it is that's making me laugh? That people can't see. For reference, the way Brent is pondering on the thought, like, you lot can't see this, but he's giving it's the like, when someone's like reflecting back.
When something is just too readily available, it loses its allure.
You're like, boring kind of thing.
It loses its allure. Do you understand? And when it cheapens everything. So, yeah. I will stop right there. I don't know why I came here in the first place, but
I'll remind you.
Yeah.
It was a dilemma, Brent.
Stick a pin in this.
Okay.
Yes. And this gentleman has said, I found out that my wife has a porn folder on her folder. There we go. Sorry, on her computer and her phone.
That's two
so
devices.
I'm not too sure.
She beats my man. Whoever that brother is.
And he said she logged into her iCloud on my computer because hers is broken. And all photos and files accidentally have been backed up on mine.
Oh, mad.
While I was trying to delete them all, I saw a folder labeled porn, and I saw it all. To be fair, it's not all porn. There's some pictures she's taken of me naked.
No.
Which I had no idea about, by the way. But there's also naked photos of exes on there as well. Diabolical work.
Wait a minute.
Diabolical work.
Wait. What is the diabolical
what?
Say it 3 times, Dr. Umar.
This maniac.
Wait. Are you talking about the lack of consent?
For what?
That's one part.
Oh, I forgot about that.
You mean the exes?
Wait, that's not where your mind went? I thought that instantly instantly, he's thinking,
man.
the
Can you
cheek of
imagine?
it, like we're
No.
here and you're still
How
looking
could your
at that.
mind go there after you've had to walk past the non-consent part?
Yeah, but you're married to the woman. You know what I mean? So at least in your head, you might think, okay, you know what I mean?
You see what you just said? Fair. I hear what you're saying, but you're
But it could
saying
be
it.
dangerous.
Just flip it around.
It's true, because if that was another if that was the man with the woman,
That's true,
it could be very problematic. And the thing is,
damn it.
it's still equally problematic.
100%, but it's not like that in real life, right? As he just displayed.
Not at all.
But that's a case in that for you might not personally feel that way, but for somebody else it might not. It would bother them.
Because obviously one person, shout out Shadow, what I'm about to do, one person could deduce that you're like, nah, it's light work, I'm allowed to do that. I've done it already.
No, you can't do that. Consent always. You know what I'm saying? Consent is the biggest thing in the world.
Every time. Make
You know what I
sure everybody's on the same page.
Exactly.
All right, so you're feeling the fact that she has the exes is wild. And why is it so wild for you?
Because she's a maniac. Because that means she's basically going back to that folder and looking at the exes.
Are we just talking about the little giblets, or do you feel that same way with just pictures of them whilst in a relationship? Here's a picture, bang, because you collect memories, right?
No, I mean yes and no, but if it's just a no.
Do you want?
I don't know. You know.
Do you want any of your partners throughout your life to hold memories of their exes?
My partners to hold it of their.
I don't know how you don't like me asking questions about your girl. So
no. I'm trying to see.
So let's say we have a girlfriend, and she has a folder, where she has pictures of her exes.
Yeah.
Would you be okay with that? Is that a red flag for you?
It would be, it would be. But at the same time,
what is Instagram?
No,
to be honest, people look to call it. People look to call it.
Yeah, listen.
Yeah, Instagram is it you cycle through?
I've got some stuff in the archive.
Oh, archive, yeah. Shout out Stormzy. Right, man. So you're saying she can't bring that wrong.
Do you know what it is? It's like sometimes, people may just have these pictures but never think about it. So it's like if that was the case, I wouldn't care. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if you've got a folder and it's maybe in a secret place with other memories that it seems like you hold dear, then I would have a problem with it. Because then it's like, cool, I'm kind of attached. I'm holding on to something. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But people have pictures of other people. Like you've never seen them for 12 years.
I have pictures that are of a non-sexual nature with ex-boyfriends in them, but I don't want to delete them for the sake of some of them are like a part of other memories. So by deleting that part would delete me not having a photo or capturing the memory as a whole. So I have to be, it's like subjective.
Exactly,
And I would hope to think that anyone that I would meet going forward would understand that. And if they had the same, I would be fair. It's like everyone's had a life in it before this. It's about, if you're there doing that pictures of you lot, like, if you're there lipsing off or something, then I'd be like, mate, let's have a conversation. But like, I've got pictures of like certain, like in other countries of like group friends, like we've been on holiday with friends. If I delete that, then that's deleting the picture of the friends too.
And the folder she put it in was labeled porn.
And that's a whole other thing in itself.
Yeah.
So it's material.
Yeah, maybe stuff that makes her feel a particular type of way.
Yeah.
And that's
it's on the home computer and it's on her phone too.
And talk about the consent thing. Do they even know that she has that? The other men outside of her current partner.
You know what I'm saying? This is it.
They might not feel comfortable with that.
This is it. Yeah.
Is the diamond finished?
Nope. Oh my goodness. Listen, okay. So there's pictures and videos of all these older, bald black men that look nothing like me with large appendages.
Fair.
This woman just ruined his life.
His head is hot. His head is hot.
Question.
Wait. I did.
Oh my god.
In fact, no, you go first. Go.
No, but obviously, anytime I open my mouth, it's a stupid question. So go on, finish it.
He said, I didn't know she had this, and she doesn't know that I've seen this. But I was wondering if I should feel a way about this. You already do. And if I should bring it up. What should I do?
All right, before we answer the questions, right? Would you feel a way about it? Like, if there are men that she has known that are old, bald, completely different to who you are and who you've been, and they have Mandingo Willie. Would you feel a way about it?
What? Oh my, this is ridiculous. Firstly,
Like,
just for context.
For me, the more interesting bit of what I just said was the ball part. Like, all of your exes, they don't look like me,
and they're older. But it looks like these other people are not her exes though. This is just the kinky stuff that she likes, the additionals.
Oh,
yeah. So she's got the exes, then she's got another one, pictures and videos of older black men. So these guys might be like 50, 60 years old.
Okay, so she sexually desires an archetype that he doesn't present.
Yep.
Should he be worried about it?
Boy, I don't think she's gonna go and pursue any of this stuff. Well, to be, I don't even know her. But the reason I'm saying is because she has this stuff. So maybe when her mind goes to that place,
That is what gets her off.
There you go.
That's what makes the juice flow, innit?
It's diabolical, man. I feel for him, man.
So what should he do?
You should tell her.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'll tell her. Yeah.
You should tell her that
you've seen,
you've linked up to
things.
iCloud and your folders.
No, she did that because it wasn't him.
Yeah,
cool.
Your folders have come into mind, and you got a folder called porn, and obviously I'm curious, whatever. I've gone in there and I've seen a whole sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
One, why is my picture there?
Mm-hmm.
And how come like you like bald men? Not bald.
And old.
You keep saying that. You're just older, right?
Yeah, true. Older.
God damn it.
Oh man.
If as a woman you found a folder and the women that he has in there don't look anything like you, like they're all white, all of them, like not even like on the verge of being.
They're not even like.
No.
They're not even like.
No
what was that
ambiguity
term?
whatsoever.
Yeah, I was gonna say yeah.
Would you bring it up to him and say, "Why are you with me?"
I don't know. I'll be. Maybe not even why are you with me, but like I didn't know that was your story. Didn't know that was your storyline, mate. Yeah.
Would you say it like that though? Because it sounds pleasant. You saying it like
that? That's me though. That's me. Like, I didn't know that was your story, mate.
All right, cool. So it was like, you could just save space.
And then we go from there.
All right.
If it starts getting problematic, then we're gonna have to
switch.
like, hold on a minute.
All right.
This ain't working out, mate.
All right. So it will affect you that much.
I think it depends on how they respond to the question. So like I would say I similar in the sense of like I have a bit like it's a conversation I have with my friends like or with men. Sometimes I even bring it up like I'm not slim like that. Like I'm not overweight.
Yeah.
But I'm not like a size 8.
Lauren and Emmanuel, the mind is a wonderful, wonderful organ.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy how detailed God has made it, right? One can be disciplined enough to like something and not participate or partake in it, right? And one can like something and partake in it, but not let it bleed into your relationship, right? Yeah. Because they know as quickly as I can get this off over here, my focus returns and I'm back to
yeah, which is true.
Yes, I'll try to basically not have that ginger me, but it's hard sometimes to rewire your brain.
Yeah.
So if you know full well the value once the nut is gone and the concentration is back here, you know that this is most valuable.
Yeah.
You will do what you do and then refocus.
That's fair. If someone came to me with that argument, I'd understand it to an extent.
Right.
Because to be fair, like even now, if I'm reflecting back on men that I've been in a relationship with, both of their exes, they don't look nothing like me. Like they don't look nothing like me. Different ethnicities completely as well. So that
is there a mixture though in their history?
As in like
Well, that's fine if there's a mixture.
So like some of them exes have been like literally British white women.
Yeah.
Some of them have been dark skinned black women.
Yeah.
If I see that you only like the thing that bothers me though is that if they only like
One type.
people, like, and they do all that kind of stuff, then I start thinking, what's all that about? Despite me being in that category myself, I think it's problematic.
Yeah, say it again, because I think you moved and I didn't hear the first part because I would have responded.
I was saying like if there's like a mixture and that's just like it's a case by case.
But if they only like,
if they only like certain particular types of women, like like they make those like statements like I only like light skinned women.
That's the one I want.
I don't like that.
All right, cool.
That bothers me.
Because of what? Is it because
I'm like, I'm not your fetish? Ew.
So, who has told you that that's what it is? Is it social media?
No, but like from conversations they have, because then I might say, so what is it you don't like? And some of the things they might pick up is things that are problematic, that are like negative connotations of black people, and I don't.
And if there aren't any negative connotations, what it is that you now look to peruse.
Oh, then that's different. Sometimes some people is like it depends on how they deliver that information as to how they got to that preference.
Yeah,
that's where I will try to deep into that. But if I hear things like, oh, I want this particular, oh, my kid's got to have this hair or something, yuck.
Definitely.
Because especially because I'm looking at my family, and even though my family's a melting pot, but it's not a thing where, and the melting pot's not been brought together in that terms. When I speak to my family, I speak to like, oh, how did that come around, and blah blah blah. And
you don't see it the same way when Ismail says he only wants to basically procreate with a black woman because he wants his children to be black and melanated. You don't see that as the same? As somebody getting with you saying, I don't want my child to have nutty hair.
I see what you're saying, because you're saying like it's similar arguments, in it, just different contexts. But I think it's because of obviously the history of what we've been through, where that stuff comes from in the first place. Because that's what and because I'm well read in those things. Yeah. That's why fair. Yeah, that's where I'm. It might seem like inconsistent. My arguments are inconsistent, but that's where my stance lies.
I just don't want you to ever block your blessings, innit? If it is a guy who's always dated a fantastic specimen, and you happen to also look like that fantastic specimen.
Oh yeah, that wouldn't bother me per se. It's more like if they just happen to look similar. Because for example, there's guys I've dated. I had this conversation with my friend the other day, and I was like, "Look at me, look at the other one, look at the other one."
I'll just type these. He likes what he likes.
Fairs, but he's not ever said anything to me that's problematic, and he's still very proud. Like he's Nigerian, and he was proud to be Nigerian. Never heard him say like, "Oh, Nigerian women this," or if it was like going like that. Despite me not being Nigerian like that, I'm like, no, yuck, yuck. Even though I'm a smidge Nigerian. But Come on. Smidge, but you know.
Last word, Emmanuel.
Just saying.
Yeah, man, you have to talk to her. There are a few opinions I wanted to read out from the chat. Oh, goodness.
Maggie saying, don't forget to ask Emmanuel if his partner had a folder of blonde Norwegian men.
No, that's diabolical work, man. That is diabolical.
He said, wait a minute.
What? Do you know what I mean? That's different.
That's a whole other end of the spectrum.
No.
But then it might be Brent's argument. Oh, maybe he just wants to explore this. And then
if you want to explore, you have to go.
If you want to explore, you have to go. Yeah. I might write that down somewhere. That's a great way of putting it.
You have to go. That's diabolical. Never in life. Where is it? Life of Budge said, okay, you got to chat to your wife because this is insane. Anubis said he should join in and watch or make some content with her.
That's a new approach. Fairs.
And then Black Rob said he's got to superimpose his face on the pics, then re-upload them to the folder.
Okay.
So you got three options there.
He's like, gotcha. She comes back and say, "You've ruined it."
And he's gonna be like, ruined what? Ruined what? Oh, too funny.
All right, well, I guess we can wrap it up there.
Then.
Let's get into our headlines. All right, people. So, trigger one on this one. Next headline's about the Gaza ceasefire. Apparently, it's in peril as Israel and Hamas hit an impasse. So, the testing second stage of Gaza's ceasefire was always in doubt. Now it seems to be dead at the moment it was meant to start. Concern is mounting that war will return to this ravaged territory, deepening the profound suffering of Palestinians and threatening the lives of the remaining hostages held by Hamas. Israel, backed by the US, says that there's a new deal now after the agreement's first phase ended on Saturday, and it has halted all humanitarian aid to Gaza until Hamas accepts this new version too. So, A flagrant violation, that was Cairo's strongly worded response. Egypt as well as Qatar, the two Arab mediators in this process, along with the US, have also accused Israel of violating international humanitarian law by using food as a weapon of war. Under the terms of the agreement, 600 trucks carrying vital humanitarian aid are meant to enter Gaza daily, and huge numbers crossed through the 42 days of the first phase. There has been a loud chorus of criticism from other Arab nations as well as humanitarian leaders. The UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres, who has arrived in Cairo for Tuesday's Emergency Arab Summit on rebuilding Gaza, called for the immediate resumption of assistance. He urged all parties to make every effort to prevent a return to hostilities. And the last headline takes us to Ghana, where, trigger warning as well, guys, a group of 10 MPs in Ghana have resubmitted a controversial bill that would impose some of the toughest restrictions on LGBT rights in Africa. The bill prescribes a 3-year jail term for people who identify as gay and 5 to 10 years for promoters and advocates. Okay, cool. Okay. So the legislation was passed by Parliament last year, but the former president, Akufo-Addo, declined to sign it into law before leaving office in January, citing legal challenges. It's been widely condemned by both local and international human rights groups, with some describing it as draconian. The original bill expired at the end of the previous parliament. It's unclear whether the Speaker of the new parliament will admit the bill for consideration. Gay sex is already punishable by up to 3 years in prison in the conservative West African country. But the President, John Mahama, has said that he would prefer the bill to be state-sponsored, ensuring broader support and consultation. He said, I do think we should have a conversation on it again so that all of us, if we decide to move forward with that bill, move it forward with a consensus. And that's it for the headlines. Time to pay them bills. Let's go into the reaction, Brent. All right, people, welcome to the reaction. I'm going to read off some of the FA Cup 5th round results that happened on the weekend. You guys obviously pretty much know it already, but just in case you don't. Crystal Palace beat Millwall 3-1. Preston North End beat Burnley 3-0. Bournemouth drew with Wolverhampton Wanderers, but then beat them 5-4 on penalties. And Man City beat Plymouth 3-1. On the Sunday, Newcastle lost to Brighton at home 2-1. And then Man United drew with Fulham, but then went on to penalties and Fulham beat them at Old Trafford 4-3. And the last bit I want to talk about is basically the fact. So, Javonte Tank Davis, my guy, he fought Lamont Roach, yeah? So this was meant to be a fight. I'm pretty sure I spoke about this sometime at the end of the last year. It was meant to happen then it got postponed, pushed back to the weekend. Controversy, right? So there's a lot of controversy. People are saying Lamont Roach won. It was clear. Long story short, the result was a draw, right? It was a draw. And that means Tank retains his WBA lightweight championship belt, right? But Lamont Roach's stock has gone up. Now, Lamont Roach is not undefeated. He's lost to, I can't remember the guy's name. Is it Heron or something? Heron. Yeah. Pretty sure it was Heron at a lower weight. So Lamont Roach is coming up to fight Tank. Obviously, they've known each other since the amateurs. So they fought twice already. And I think Tank beat him twice on those occasions, right, in the amateurs. So they're now fighting now for the belt. Tank is obviously saying, I'm going to knock you out, all that sort of stuff. So Lamont Roach is saying, it's not going to happen. Watch, it's not going to happen, etc., etc. No, saying back and forth and all that stuff. Prior to this, though, Tank has fought, I think he basically fights like once a year, which is it's not good. It's not good enough, right? Especially for a champion. Last fight he had was against, what's his name? Frank Martin. Knocked him out, I think, in like the 8th round. But Tank, this is basically just what Tank does. Tank basically knocks out everybody, right? He must have something like a 95% knockout ratio. Anyway, so he's fighting Roach, and I'm hearing about the scores before I get to watch the fight. Hence me saying yesterday. Yesterday? Well, I can't remember when it was. That obviously that I'm going to review it and then watch it. Long story short, now, what made it controversial is in the 9th round, Tank takes a knee. So if you take a knee, that's basically a knockdown. It counts as a knockdown. His excuse was there was some hair grease in his eyes. Now it sounds mad. It sounds mad.
Hair grease in the eye.
It sounds mad. And you guys might think I'm trying to defend him, right? I love Tank though. Yeah, he's my guy. But it's happened in the past. It happened to Amanda Serrano.
But do you know what? As much as it sounds funny, I do get it, because if you're sweating and you've got something, that's happened to me.
Exactly.
It's like it's going in my eye and it starts stinging and you can't see properly.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Stinging.
So it's valid.
Yeah. And he said, listen, I took the knee because I felt it burning in my eye. I didn't want to get knocked out. Because that can happen, right?
Yeah.
If you're not paying attention. So I took the knee, quickly ran to my corner, asked him to wipe my face, then he wanted to resume. And that's exactly what happened. You could tell he didn't take the knee because he was hurt.
Oh, okay.
But the problem is he's taken a jab though. Lamont Roach has jabbed him. It's hit him, so it might be the jab that pushed some of the grease into his eye or whatever it may be. But when I looked at it closely, I noticed that just before he got the jab, Tank wipes his face with his glove, then gets back in position, gets the jab, realizes what's going on now, stinging, takes the knee. He literally runs to the corner, shouts through the ropes, gets his team to wipe his face, comes back, and the referee's like, "Hey, what's going on here? Because you can't do that. This is boxing. This is a real. This ain't some backdoor nonsense, isn't it?"
Oh God.
Right. So, anyway,
What does that mean?
I don't get it either.
oh no, man, I just didn't want to insult, but you ain't gonna Zelensky me. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna do it. But so he obviously comes back now. He's fine. Referee's like, yo, you can't do that. That looks like a submission, that you're taking a knee and you should have a point taken off.
Oh,
Plus, when he did it, the referee started counting.
Oh.
Then he realizes that he's run there, come back, and ready to fight. So he knows this is not because he's hurt or whatever it may be.
It's become clear.
Exactly. So he's saying, yo, what's going on? Talks to him, say, yo, you can't do that. He say, yeah, I know, it's just my eye. Cool. He has a quick conversation and they start again. Now, when I watch the fight, I'm gonna give my scores in a minute. But when I watched that fight, that round 9, I gave to Tank. If the referee says that's a knockdown, that automatically changes from a 10-9 to Tank to a 10-8 to Roach. That completely changes things, right? And when you look at the scorecard as well at the end, even though it was a draw, that particular round, if that again was flipped for Roach, 2 judges give Roach a win. Roach wins and becomes the world champion. Just like it changes his life. Next fight, if they have a rematch, he's going to call the shots. He's going to have millions guaranteed because you're going up against Tank, right? So it does seem unfair. Plus, all of the reasons aside, you can't do that in boxing. So again, I don't think he was hurt. In fact, I know he was hurt. He wasn't hurt. I'm pretty sure anyone watching knew he wasn't hurt. But you taking a knee counts as a knockdown. And that's you saying, I'm going to take... I'm just going to take the deduction. You know what I'm saying? That's what it counts as. So I think it wasn't necessarily Tank's fault, because even when Tank was explaining himself, he said, I took the knee because I didn't want to get knocked out. There's something in my eye. I wanted to deal with it. I think Tank is basically saying, I was okay with taking the knee and getting the point. You know what I'm saying? Because it's better than being knocked out.
Yeah, he's
because
like,
the fight will be done.
The compromise is
Exactly.
much better, yeah.
Which means that the blame, unfortunately, should go to the referee. Because the referee should have told the judges, yep, point down, take a point off. That simple. Cool. People are saying even without that, though, Roach should have won. Now, when I saw the highlights, because sometimes I like to watch the highlights first, just some 3-minute highlights. These highlights are diabolical. PBC, obviously, Tank is a PBC fighter. You would never have thought Roach did anything good in that fight based on these 2 to 3 minute highlights. Nothing, right? Obviously, you saw the knee or whatever, but besides that, yeah. So anyway, I thought, you know what? Let me watch this fight. Let me score it my way. Yeah. So in the first round, yeah, nothing really happened. I would say it was a draw. It can go either way, right? I don't like to give 10-10 rounds. You shouldn't really, right? But that means it can go either way. The second round, again, very close, but I would slightly give the edge to Tank, right? Third round, Tank. Fourth round, either way, but I'll give it to Tank, right? Fifth and sixth round, Tank. So I'm thinking to myself, when is this going to change for Roach? You know what I'm saying? This is what I'm thinking. But at the same time, I'm mindful of the fact that 3 of these rounds, or two out of the 3, I've slightly given to Tank, but it could go the other way. And the first round could go to Roach as well. And when I looked at the screen as well, one of the judge commentator people were scoring it. It was pretty close to mine. But the first round, which I said was pretty much a draw, could go either way, he gave it to Roach. So I was like, okay, fair enough. But at least the rest of the card, so far, after 6 rounds, is basically the same. 7 and 8 goes to Roach now. So Roach picks it up. You see the aggression. You see him pushing the fight. 9th round, I give that to Tank. But that's because the referee didn't say it should be a 10-8 round to Roach. If he did, then you're giving that 10-8 to Roach. But you have to go by what the referee says. Then 10, 11, 12, to be fair, the Roach rounds. Roach basically won the second half of the fight. So in my head, I can see this as a draw. You know what I'm saying? I can see if you want to kind of give it to Roach, maybe by 1 round or 2 rounds, whatever it may be. But I don't see it as a robbery. I don't see it as a robbery as such. I'm happy with the draw. And I'm happy with the draw because of that referee decision in round 9. I think if the ref gave that to Roach as a knockdown, which it should have been, then I'll be saying Roach won the fight, to be fair. So but I understand anyone who says Roach won the fight, but it is what it is. Hopefully they're gonna have a rematch. Tank's been talking about retiring for a while now because he just feels disillusioned with the whole sport of boxing. Says there's too much politics, this, that, and the third. That's why he just fights once a year. And he said he wants to retire and probably, I think, after this fight. But he said, no, because of this result here, I'm staying for another 4 or 5 fights. So it's good that we got that anyway. And in this next one, I feel like he's definitely going to want to prove something. And Roach is a good fighter, but if he's not careful, Tank's gonna do what he normally does. That's what I pretty much say. Also, another fight was Valenzuela. He's a good fighter. He beat Pitbull in the last fight, took his belt. Good fighter. But he lost to Gary Russell. Good fight, but Russell just had the energy. He just reminded me of a smaller Sean Porter in there. And he just didn't give Valenzuela any opportunity to actually do anything. And yeah, he took his belt from him. So good on him. Sandor Martin as well had the opportunity. People thought he was going to win, but he lost to Puello. Apparently Puello, because I've not seen much of him, but he's a champion basically, and he put in a good show basically. You know what I'm saying? Like people really thought Sandor Martin would take the opportunity and win, but nope, it's back to the drawing board, and potentially Dalton Smith might be in there as well. I believe, yeah, because Dalton Smith basically wants a world title fight, and he deserves one. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the boxing, guys. Yeah, look, Lifebud said he man really likes his Tank because I've never seen him bring out a scorecard. No, to be fair, yeah, it's because I wanted to actually give you guys something, and be fair, not just base it on this, that, and the third, innit? So yeah, that's pretty much it, man. Let's go into the wrap up, Brent. Right, people, thank you for tuning in once again to TDA. We had an amazing show. You guys heard an amazing, insightful conversation with the legendary. Yes, you will be a legend, 100%. You know what I'm saying?
She really is, bro. What?
Yes, exactly.
I appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
Seriously.
You know what I'm saying?
Single-handedly built up I Love Live.
100%, man. You know what I'm saying? I make it. To be fair, you're making it more relevant today, innit?
100%. What?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
That's my aim. That's my aim.
Yeah, 100%. That's
That
it.
really is my aim.
You know what I'm saying? So big up to you, man. Keep up the good work.
I'm trying my very best. I appreciate all the support. Well, thank you to TDA community as well. Some of them have come to the events and everything, so it's nice.
Sick. How often are the events again?
Bi-monthly.
Okay, cool.
We actually have one on the 18th of March, and Akemi Fox, who came here, is actually performing. So,
oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay, sick. Have you met her before?
No, not in person.
Okay, cool.
No. So,
Cool.
yeah. She's
That'd
coming
be
all the way
good.
from Manchester for that, so very grateful.
All right, people, support that. You know what I'm saying? If you're about 18th of March.
18th of March, Colours Hoxton on I Love Live website, ilovelive.co.uk.
Cool. And guys, we also spoke about Starmer and basically, trying to do what nobody does, innit? He wants to keep supporting Ukraine in this war. And, fair dues to him. The Ukraine are his... They are allies, man, pretty much, innit? We also spoke about the UK death rate and how it's reached a record low and how now the government is looking at how to outrightly ban new leasehold flats. You know what I'm saying, basically? They want all of them in England and Wales to be banned under the latest government plans to reform home ownership. You know what I'm saying? So that's something to definitely look into, guys. Of course, for our topic of the day, we spoke about Trump and Zelensky, their clash on TV, and who was really in the wrong. Of course, down to interpretation, but hopefully this thing they just kind of find a solution in some capacity. Am I optimistic? Not really. But we also spoke about the markets and how they've sunk because Trump confirmed tariffs on Canada, Mexico, and China, 25%, and 10% on top of that, 25% for China. And we also spoke about Trump condemning Zelensky's remarks, saying that the end of the war is far away. And it's obviously after this conversation with the rest of Europe. So obviously they're going to be back in this war. We had some good asking for friends today as well. And we spoke about Gaza, ceasefire, and how apparently that might be in peril right now because of Israel, even though they're blaming Hamas. And also we spoke about the Ghanaian MPs who are reintroducing the controversial anti-LGBTQ bill. And yes, we spoke about Tank and Roach. So yeah, great show. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll be back here tomorrow.
Bye.
Peace.